Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Castle Mac. Last minute stream tonight with the most abysmal timing in the history of streaming.
So thank you to anybody who's watching.
Two people.
Yay!
Two people.
Yay!
God.
Awesome. So this is a little bit last minute, but we decided, we've been fairly regularly able to get together on Saturday nights, and we decided, well, why not? Let's get some D&D in. And so we're going to play through some of the stuff in the Yawning portal. This will be a semi-regular campaign. We'll keep the characters the same, but I can't say for sure that it's going to be like every Saturday night or that we'll have a regular schedule. So we hope you can follow along, and if so, I think you'll be in for a fun surprise, because we're starting from the very beginning. We have actually not really start from the beginning in a campaign on this channel. Both of our campaigns were sort of, a couple levels in. That being said, this doesn't have the same overarching narrative, but we think it'll be a lot of fun.
It's kind of fun to have episodic. Feels almost classic D&D to just go through episodes.
I think so too. They'll be strung together, but this is going to be a little bit more of a classic, like, y'all are adventurers.
Yeah.
You're not out to save the world. You're out to do some stuff, find some fortune and glory, and make it happen. So let's go around the table and we'll quickly kind of talk about our characters. We want to introduce Spencer here. Spencer's joining us for the summer. He's home from college.
Yeah, young Spencer.
Young Spencer.
Hashtag young Spencer.
Yep.
Young Spencer.
Oh man, hashtag young Spencer. I hope that happens and hope it trends with all
With
four
our
of our
two
viewers.
viewers.
All
That's gonna
four
be
of our
exciting.
viewers.
Yes.
Two.
No, thank you for hanging out with us. We know that there is something else big in the D&D world going on right now, and it's been a lot of fun.
What up to Wiley and Sean Van Dam?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Speaking of which, the new D&D book sounds awesome. I wasn't expecting that at all. Not a heist, anyways.
We've been talking about a heist.
We have been.
We've
Forever.
been like, yo, dude, but what about a heist?
I don't know if you've kept up with all the latest D&D buzz, but the new
Not
book
quite, but-
is set in Waterdeep, which is a big city, so it's going to be an urban campaign, and it's a heist. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so let's go around. Let's talk about our characters here, and then we'll draw some backdrop. Oh, we're not starting with Spencer.
Oh, okay. That's
You
fair.
get to go first,
That's
Raven.
fair.
I'm not going first.
I'll
All
go
right,
first.
Lydia, go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll
If
go
you're
first.
prepped, go
I
ahead.
have my quest log pulled up. I'm ready to go.
Okay, go. Hit it.
All right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Thanks. So I'm Lydia in real life. My character is Marion. She is a high moon elf wizard. She is about 200 years old, so that puts her like in her 30s in human years. She's very tall for an elf, very slender, very pale. She has brown hair and really dark brown eyes, so dark that they almost look black. She does not wear any armor because she's a wizard. And she has a short sword though. Not that she'll hopefully get that close to anybody, at least for a couple levels.
Yeah, these
anyways.
low levels are dangerous. Hope you're not too attached to your characters.
No.
We're only doing a couple sentences background this time, not like paragraphs, because I'm going to kill you and not feel bad about it.
Going,
Fair.
yeah, looking at going from fighters and barbs, I was like, how y'all live with this low of hit points?
So, my one cool thing is that I wear a cloak that looks like the night sky, and it never looks the same twice when you look at it. It doesn't really do anything, it's just cool.
I like
Oh,
that.
and I have a trinket. We all rolled for a trinket. Or did I just roll for a trinket?
You and young
I did.
Spencer did, and Sean,
Oh, Sean,
always
okay.
does. I knew Sean would.
Yeah. So my
Raven
trinket...
ain't got no trinket.
Sorry about your trinket loss. So my trinket that I got was a silver teardrop earring that was made from a real teardrop. And I believe that I got the tear collected from my dying elf grandmother, who was the first elf I ever knew that died.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when
Yeah.
elves die,
Yeah,
they get
I
that.
do know. She got the
crescent
crescent
moon.
cataracts in her eyes and
Mhm.
passed into the next realm.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. She gave me a tear, and I always had it in like a little vial. And then when I went to study with that halfling wizard, he helped me make it into an earring.
Oh, that's cool. I love it. Fantastic. All right, and your character's name is Marion.
Marion.
And we'll come back around to figure out what everyone is doing and why they're in Golden Leaf right now, but we'll come back to you. Moving on to you, Mr. Sean. We'll come back. You get to go last. You ready? You want to roll for a trinket in the meantime? You can if you want to.
There's a trinket
Just
table.
go roll D100 percentage, and it's in the player's handbook in the equipment section.
If you search for trinkets and beyond, you'll find it.
So, I am the character of Etrigan. I am a draconic bloodline sorcerer. The very quick bit of his story is he woke up at the Well of Dragons after the battle, has no idea who he is, what his purpose is. He has, if anybody looks, he has what look like mortal wounds all over his torso. He met some elves and dwarves that helped to give him a name, and I think otherwise he's just he's searching for his past or a future, who knows. But the only other thing is he does use a whip. I'm excited about that. I'm trying to make whips happen, y'all. Hashtag make whips happen.
Okay.
So the trinket that I rolled on, which if anybody looks it up, there's an elemental evil one pulled out by wizards online. So it's just like another different 100. And I actually got a locket that's frozen shut, which is perfect.
A silver locket.
A silver locket that is frozen shut.
Sweet.
Nice.
That's all I'll give
What's
for
your
now.
name?
Etrigan.
Etrigan.
Etrigan. Marion. Trying to get him in my head.
Everyone ends in an "an" except for her.
Oh, that's true. Etrigan. Urican. Marion. Orphan. Orpha.
Orville Redenbacher.
Spencer, let's hear about, do you pronounce it Urican?
Urican is how I was pronouncing
it. Got
it. So Urican is a wood elf fighter specializing in archery. So he is from a relatively largely sized wood elf village town thing, but cannot go back there for whatever reason. And so he carries with him a very intricate longbow that he keeps with him at all times. And then the trinket that I rolled for was a needle that never bends.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. How about Orpha?
You just gave it away. It's a secret. Her name. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Well, it is on your. It's on the overlay, so.
Whatever. Okay. Orpha is a barbarian human.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's move on.
That's about it for her.
What's her trinket?
Oh, her trinket is a metal urn containing the ashes of a hero.
Dope.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
I definitely had to roll twice because the first one was like, fuck this. It was an elven bow.
So Orpha is from the Uthgard tribes, right? And was at the Well of Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the regional history briefly. Since this is the start of a kind of fresh campaign, we'll talk about the setting and the backdrop. So we are picking up a year and a half after the epic battle at the Well of Dragons, where the Cult of the Dragon and Tiamat and the Chromatic Dragons were defeated, but at huge cost. The allies, the Free Peoples, as well as the Metallic Dragons all banded together to defeat them, and our previous characters, of course, stopped Tiamat herself.
Mm-hmm. Mainly.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
It was mainly Kothai. I just got to the vibe.
Yeah, okay. There you go. So, as a result, what we decided was the fallout from that has been fairly calamitous. Lots of people died in the fighting, which has led to some severe depopulation. There just aren't enough people to do the jobs that were needed because so many people were conscripted and such a massive loss of life. So towns and villages are like kind of decrepit. They're hard to be kept up to date. Crime is rampant. Villages get disappeared in goblin hordes and orc attacks and things that they just can't defend themselves against any longer. But one of the heroes, Nithbis, established a town called Goldenleaf. And in Goldenleaf, her sort of thought process was, you know, we can't have these standing armies anymore, but adventurers can rise to the occasion, and adventurers can take care of problems and do good. So it's sort of like this good organization that they put together called the Order of Rorik that call upon adventurers to go out and do good in the world, and for modest fees, of course. Is that a pretty good summary of where we're at world-wise? Okay, now, let's talk about characters here. What is everyone doing in Golden Leaf right now? Why are you in Golden Leaf?
I'm looking for a crew of adventurers to assist me.
You, in fact, got an inheritance from a silver dragon. Did you have a name for her?
No, I was going to leave that
I
up
did.
to you.
I did.
He's really good at naming on the fly.
I am. I had this one already picked out. Thank you. It's Beagle. No, it's Alianthar is the silver dragon that gave you a fairly sizable sum of money. And you're not exactly sure why. Okay. And she essentially said, later, right, you received word, like, form a group of adventurers and do good with this.
Did I meet her in person?
You did. And we'll talk about exactly when that happened and some flashbacks that'll come up
good.
later. Kind of your first memories of her, because you don't have memories really before the war.
I have memories, from about a year and a half, and then hazy feelings of familiarity.
Right, nothing
things.
concrete, just kind of vague feelings. So you're there literally looking to put a crew together. What is... Gotta remember names. What is Marion doing in Golden Leaf? Why is she adventuring? She's a wizard. She's studied. She's smart. She is well-read, academic life. Why now is she adventuring, and has she adventured before?
No. This is her first time adventuring, so she was studying one-on-one with a tutor mage who was a halfling named Osbin.
Okay.
And Osbin died of natural causes. He was just very old.
Did that affect her much, or
Yes.
Okay?
That's why I'm here. You
Okay.
can let me finish. So
I'm gonna ask probing questions. That's how we establish a thing.
So after Osmond died, I kind of lost myself, and now I'm just gonna try to adventure to find like my purpose. I'm having like a midlife crisis for like an elf. You know?
You're past the drawing of the veil, and you're restless a bit.
Can't buy a Mustang, so I'm gonna adventure.
You're nowhere near midlife. It's not midlife. You're in youth.
Like a
you are
quarter-life
becoming an adult.
No, I'm like in my 30s. I'm like half.
You're 140, right? Is that what you said?
200.
Okay. All right. And how about Orpha? What's she doing in Golden Leaf?
She fought at the Wall of Dragons.
So she's just familiar with the people. Has she been adventuring before, or is...
No, and
'Cause
she's
there's a
not
year
even
and a
that
half.
familiar with... Oh.
Okay.
You said a year and a half?
Year and a half.
Well, maybe a little more familiar than she was. Yeah, she ended up finding her way fighting at the Wall of Dragons. Like, she didn't intend for it to be that way, but then...
Did the tribe kind of pledge themselves to help? Were you guys
Pretty
part
much
of the allies?
her and another tribe agreed that they needed to take down the Red Wizards of Thay, and it just happened that the Red Wizards were working with, like, trying to get Tiamat back and stuff, so it kind of worked out that way, and so she ended up fighting there, and she's hung around since looking for someone that she has lost.
Yes, and we will explore that as well in some flashbacks. Kind of a fun way to not get too attached to characters yet, but as we go, we can have some plot devices to establish things a little bit better. By the way, just want to point out, Spencer, there's a lot of Hokies in the house right now. There's like 3 people who are talking about being Hokies, so
Nice.
you're in good
Picked a
company.
good shirt then.
And how about Uriken? We know that there's, for some reason, he was essentially exiled from his tribe.
And so he's relatively young, so he's like 140. So he is leaving his village and the woods kind of for the first time. And so he just heard of Golden Leaf before, and was kind of just looking for something. Just something to fill the gap that he's now left.
Okay, I love it. So it makes total sense. It's like a natural... Alright, so none of you have really been adventuring before, although Uriken, you served in sort of a defense guard. You were not at the Well of Dragons,
right?
But you were in a military
kind
farm.
of pissed that I wasn't there.
Yeah, you're kind of jealous,
yeah.
right? Orpha, you have done some fighting before. Maybe not adventuring, but you've certainly seen your fair share of fighting. Okay. Which one of you, right this very moment, would be at the eponymous pub, the
Me.
Horny Toad?
Oh, me, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, a barbarian. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Orpha, you're pounding some beers at the Horny Toad. Is anyone else at the bar right now?
I would probably be there.
Okay.
Drinking.
I'm trying to find myself.
If I was not in a meeting with Bishar, then I suppose that would be the place that
Okay.
I would be.
All right.
Yes.
Great.
Potentially, if I was looking for work there, maybe, or
Great.
people, yeah.
All right. So you all, will say at this point, have approached the person in charge of sort of getting you assigned to a group, because they literally kind of put groups together to go on jobs. It's almost like, the employment line for adventurers or something. But you didn't come with a pre-existing party, so you've sort of signed up and haven't been assigned to anyone. So you're all sitting in the inn. I imagine you're off by yourself at a table. You don't strike me as the type of character who would be at the bar.
No.
Okay. Orpha, I think you would be at the bar, hamming it up a little bit. Maybe not hamming it up, but eyeing people up, pounding some beers. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think I'd be hamming it up, but I would definitely
Yeah.
be at the bar pounding some beers.
All right.
And some ale and just checking out who's walking in just to make sure. Like,
What are we drinking though?
We're not going to roll on the table right
Damn
now.
it.
Maybe later we will. Later we will. Maybe when you know each other we'll do that. That is a fun, excellent thing to do. Okay. Orpha, we start with you. You are sitting next to a small halfling. He looks fairly dapper. Like he's in kind of fine clothes, and he's been pretty chatty. You've kind of rebuked him a couple of times as he's tried to chat you up. You're kind of like, yeah, okay, thanks though. Person next to him, he'll chat. He goes to close his bar tab. The woman behind the counter, her name is Veta. She's just like, all right, if that's it, you owe us a pretty penny. You've been drinking quite a bit. And he's like, oh, of course. And he starts patting his pockets. He's like, all right. And he turns to you and says, excuse me. Tugs on your leathers. Sorry, excuse me. I seem to have left me gold back in me room. Could I maybe get you to cover for me? It wasn't too much. That is like 24 gold pieces, which is pretty expensive. That's $400 bar tab.
I'm gonna pick up my great axe and gently knock him to the ground with it.
He's like, oh!
And I'm gonna walk away from him.
He's like, oh, hold on. I'll tell you what. I'll leave some collateral. I'll be right back. He's like, I'll tell you what. Is that amenable to you? I'll leave her some of my collateral. I'll run to my room. I'll grab me gold. I'll be back in a jiff.
Can I see this going on?
Sure, I see it going on.
So I speak halfling.
Okay.
So I want to call to him in halfling, like, excuse me, little man, do you need some gold?
And he's like, and he looks at you for a second, and he's like, well, sure, if you can spare it. It's just a little bit of a bar tab. I can pay you back. Lickety split.
And he's pretty drunk, right?
Pretty drunk.
Okay. I just want to do a minor illusion of me throwing gold at him.
Okay, minor illusion only lasts a couple seconds.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and it doesn't hold up to touch.
Oh.
Minor illusion's just a visual thing.
Oh, well now I feel bad, so I'll just give him my gold.
Okay.
Do you have 24 gold?
Yeah, I come from
She
a
was
pretty wealthy
wealthy.
family.
We'll say
I don't even
you
know
do.
how much I have. I didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh, I
add
gave
my
myself
currency.
I gave myself 150 to start, if that's
Alright.
okay, because I
Hey
was
Jake,
wealthy.
what's up, man? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
50 gold is what you said?
Yes.
That's what you started with? Okay. And he's like, alright, I'll tell you what. I'm good for it. I'm gonna pay you back. I'll leave you something to prove that I'll be back. Does that work for you?
I expect you to.
He's like, alright. He's like, I don't have too many belongings.
Give me your shoes.
He's like, oh, no, I've got something better. Got this violin. It's just an old violin, but sentimental to me.
Sure.
He's like, alright, here you go. I'll be back in a jiff. Scout's honor.
Can I try to play it?
Do you have any musical instrument proficiencies?
No.
Okay. Yeah. You pull it out, and you all hear the conversation dies as you hear, roll a performance check
I'm
for
gonna
me.
Tight.
walk over to her, take it out of her hands, and I'll say,
I rolled a 10.
It's pretty bad. I mean, it's still elven dexterity, but it's pretty
I'll
bad.
look over and I'll be like, excuse me, and I'll take it from you. And I'll look at it. And, one of my flaws is I accidentally break things that I try to touch delicately. Just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'll-
That really is my flaw, but I'm not going to break it. And I'm just going to look at it and be like, how is this collateral?
He says, family heirloom. Used to belong to me grandpa. That's all. Just means a little bit to me. It's just a little shabby old violin.
I just like it.
He's like, alright, I'll be back. Promise. Be right back.
Wait.
Sure.
One more thing.
He's like, yeah, anything. Of course.
Your pants.
I need me knickers.
No. You will come back.
I can't leave here without me knickers on.
Yes, you can.
Alright. Undoes it. Takes them off. He just has these shorts on underneath them.
And the sword.
He's
And the
like,
shorts.
not me short sword. Not me short sword. Just me violin and me knickers. I'm gonna
Fine.
come back. It's like, alright. He leaves. Walks out the shuttered doors. They kind of swing for a second. The two of you are left standing there. You're holding this violin.
She's holding pants.
Okay.
She's holding a pair of pants.
I'll put them on my arm. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha.
I'll say, well, that was fun.
Okay.
Okay.
I have like no charisma.
My flaw is just that I think I'm better than everybody.
As you're sitting there, you hear a voice from behind you speak up. You look and you see a half-orc. Looks a little bit scholarly. He's got a nice button-up shirt and a pretty high collar.
I'm sorry, a scholarly half-orc
Yeah,
just
yeah, I mean,
strikes
it's-
me as-
You know, he's been sitting there, but it's, you know, he's got a book open in front of him, and he's got some little spectacles. And he kind of pulls them off, and he's like, well, I'm sorry for interrupting. Was that a violin right there?
Yes, can you play?
He's like, I'm actually a dealer. I'm an instrument dealer. You've probably seen me shop. It's just
I haven't.
just up by the tower.
I have not seen it.
He's like, well,
Can
we sell fine instruments. We do.
Well, this is not mine to sell.
roll to see if I feel a little suspicious about this?
Well, you can make an
Like
insight
he's trying to
check.
pull a
Favorite things.
You can roll an insight check.
14?
You feel a little suspicious, but you're also not from civilization. But yeah, you're a little bit like, You definitely feel, with a 15 or a 14, you definitely feel a little bit suspicious. He's like, can I take a look at that thing?
No.
It's like, what you mean? That's just a friendly look. Like I said, I'm a dealer. Know a little.
Are you
Thing
my
or two.
friend?
He's like, well, I could be.
But
You seem
you are
like
not.
you seem nice enough.
You are not, and so it is not a friendly little look, is it?
I mean, he kind of looks around the bar, and he's like, tough crowd today, eh? You know what I'm talking about. I was thinking, could I just take a quick look at it? I think that's a quite nice violin you've got there.
It's actually not even mine, so if you wouldn't mind leaving us alone now.
It's like, oh, sure, I heard the exchange. It's just, well, I think that violin might be a bit nicer than you think.
Well, I don't care.
He's like, yeah, alright, fair enough. And he sits back down, crosses his legs, kind of stares at you. So you're just gonna hold on to that old shabby thing without trying to know anything about it?
Can I do an insight check on him?
Sure.
Hey, by the way, minor illusion lasts for 1 minute, and you can do a lot of stuff with it.
Okay.
16 plus 3.
I mean, yeah. You definitely feel a little suspicious about it.
I figured it out.
I'll look over to you and say in Elvish, I'm sorry my Elvish is poor. Am I making sense?
It is quite poor, but I can understand you.
Oh.
Okay. I don't think you should give this guy that thing.
I don't plan on giving him anything.
Okay.
We can have some fun, though.
Okay. Are we ruining your plan?
No, not at all.
Good.
Not at all.
What if you're like, God damn it, this is
No.
Yeah,
She's not a bit. This is great.
Okay.
This is
This
great.
comes from the Citadel.
So he's just sitting there like looking at us?
I mean, kind of. He seems to now be like, all right. I mean,
And
he goes back. He's drinking out of
Is
his
she
beer.
like,
So-
were you sitting at a table?
Yeah.
So I'll like sit down at the table
With
and like
him or with her?
with her
Okay.
and like set my great X down and just kind of do one of these.
To him.
Looking back at him because he's
Okay.
staring at us.
He's not really anymore.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of just gone back to his thing, taking a sip of his beer.
So with minor illusion, I can create a sound like drums beating. So I'm gonna use a minor illusion
can
to
definitely
pretend
do
that I can play it.
That you can definitely do.
And it sounds like drums beating?
Well,
No.
it can,
Oh.
that's
It
an
sounds
example.
like a violin.
Oh.
Yeah, that you can do. Roll performance. See if you can even put together a composition.
I
I've heard
both
of violin.
one thought about specifically what this is, and thought about those two the other day.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Is it Cuddy and Garland?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try to seduce them.
I didn't even realize who we were talking to.
Wow, that's so good at this.
I was waiting to see the reaction from you.
I'll share.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you play it, and
I just want to be staring at him and smiling.
I mean, he doesn't seem to react in any particular way.
I'm gonna eat some of the food I have
Yeah,
from
gotcha.
the bar.
Yeah, from the bar. What are you guys doing through this? I mean, you saw this whole, frankly, a little bit bizarre exchange. You saw them be extremely rude to this scholarly-looking half-orc who was only interested in an instrument. Why don't you both roll insight?
I got a 17.
Okay. Yeah, you were maybe also like, that was a little strange.
I think I would drink wine, and I think so. I have expertise due to prodigy and perception, and I think part of that is like, with no memories, trying to be painfully aware of what's happening. So I think he was maybe even just like this, like watching the exchange, looking around the bar.
Okay. With that roll, you, due to your vantage, noticed Veta, like, watch the halfling leave and just kind of, like, roll her eyes and go back to, like, pouring someone else a drink.
I'm gonna go talk to Veta.
All right. Fantastic. You were like, man, why were they so mean to him? With your roll of a 1, you really don't understand why they were just so mean to him.
Like, I have a pretty high intelligence, so I probably...
I feel like that'd be wisdom.
And I had a good roll.
Could be either, I guess, right?
I had a good roll, so I would probably just like, oh, this fucking guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you get to it. She's like, what can I do for you?
I think I'll wait on having another wine. That orc over there. And the halfling. What's going on?
She's like, well, I try not to get involved in the affairs of my patrons, but well, those two are well known around town. They're scoundrels. Don't get involved with them. It's a wonder Nithbis lets them keep up with it in this town. I think she's got a soft spot for him for some reason.
She doesn't.
They claim she owes them a drink. Don't know how true that is. Heard the little one talking about how she tried to kill him one time.
Yeah, I heard that.
With her boo-boo.
Maybe it's out of guilt, I don't know. Far be it for me to understand her motivations.
It would be hard to understand somebody that powerful. I'm almost, losing and like legitimately thinking like that's a lot of power. But coming back, I see. Well,
She's like, I suppose I should put an end to it. Garland, dear! He's like, yes? He kind of looks at you and she's like, get the feck out of my bar. And you tell Cuddy to come back with that 24 gold pieces, give them to the nice lady, and take that shitty violin that doesn't belong to any famous bard, or come from some citadel, or belong to some elven king. Get the feck out. He's like, well, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, he's gathering up his things, and he's like, oh, I've never felt so insulted. But just grabs his stuff, kind of doesn't make eye contact with you guys. It's like, all right, don't know what she's talking about, and just disappears out the door. She watches him go and just like...
Beta.
She's like, oh, what is it? Can I get you another one?
And there's a drink
speaking
for
like
me.
him. She's like,
Into my new friend.
of course. What would you be drinking, my lady?
I will have your finest wine.
She's like, I can do that for you.
Look at my coins.
She goes back and gets, what is it called? Telethane?
Tethrian.
Tethrian. She pours you a glass of...
Really? Because that's like
Tethrian.
crazy expensive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're paying for it, right? You asked for the finest wine. She got you the finest wine. And she brings you another... What are you drinking? Probably mead or something?
Pilsner.
Do you have any, like, citrus hops IPAs?
Too many pumpkin.
So she brings you a nice ale. It's pretty sparse in here right now, pretty Spartan. It's maybe just you guys left and a couple of other patrons who are kind of keeping to themselves. And she's just like, are you all going into the valley as well? It's kept everyone pretty busy.
The valley?
Guess that's a no.
Weird. Strange.
I have just met you.
I've just been hearing strange things coming from the valley.
Can we roll if we've also heard strange
please,
things?
go ahead and
in
roll.
the-
I don't even know. You know what? If you want to have heard about it, yes. Otherwise, no. Just make it easy.
I just got here.
Okay.
I've been here a year, so I guess, yeah.
Have you been here a year, or did you travel
she's
back to
straight
your
up-
tribes and back?
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, what?
you're from the valley that she's talking about.
Oh, that's when you were saying I should say in my story I've been hearing about the weird monsters.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Wait, the place she's... Sorry, I didn't write down any of my background crap, which I already told you.
You're essentially situated right next to the Desserin Valley, where there's like a bunch of little towns and stuff there. Kind of the Tribor Trail is the westernmost part of it, and then kind of the tip of the high forest.
I think he would speak up. I have two strange sightings. I heard Ampale is off the map now.
I heard that. Some adventurers passed through there, wasn't nothing left. Well, I would have assumed you'd be here for that. It's been a bit lucrative for your type, if I'm taking your professions, and I think I am.
I'm heading a bit further north. I'm looking to set up a crew of adventurers myself. Not necessarily looking at any of them. I mean, kind of reflecting and drinking his wine.
So this will be traveling back to where I'm from? Towards that area?
Yeah, towards that area. You wouldn't get all the way there. I mean, that you know of. I think you're a little further north. Like, you're pretty far north, I think, if I remember
But
that.
this will be on the way.
Yeah, this would be on the way. So you all hear him say that.
So I feel like I've been listening to this whole thing. I hear that, and I do want to go over and ask him about it. I don't necessarily like either of them because I think they were just dicks to that half-orc for no reason. So I'm like, I don't know what's up with them, but this guy's trying to set up a crew, so I'm gonna go see what's up with that.
All right, I would just be kind of sitting there, you know, rubbing my chin, looking at my drink.
And what does Uriken say to
So
him?
I would come over and just like sit down at his table. Be like, so I hear you're setting up a crew.
I'd be kind of pulled out of my reverie. And be like, I am setting a crew together, looking to share an adventure. Are you interested?
I've been looking for a crew to go on an adventure with. I have a pretty useful set of skills. I think I could be a benefit to your crew.
Very good. What are your skills? Magical, martial?
Archery, martial.
An archer would be...
Best archer in my village.
That's impressive. Like, elves are famed for their archery prowess.
That on her breath's like, depends on the size of the village. Seems nonplussed. This is a bar of adventurers.
Well, I've already spoken to Baishar. I can tell you that I have a fairly handsome reward to offer any of those who travel with me. Not to mention whatever spoils we may or may not find. It will be dangerous. I know not how. I can't give you specifics. I'm sorry, but I know the threat is incredibly real.
I'm in. Sounds perfect.
Very
Just
good.
what I've been looking for.
Well, I'm Etrigan.
Uriken.
You're
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well. Which I guess if you were Elvish, you would know that some bastardized.
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
You hear the name Etrigan, and it means
Stranger. It's like a weird, almost pigeon archaic
Yeah.
translation.
It'd be like someone using the term like drifter nowadays or something for a stranger or something like it's a little bit archaic, but it is a term that means stranger.
Okay. I think I would take note of that, but I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
about
you wouldn't
it.
call
I
him
wouldn't
out on
address
it.
Weird
That's a
fucking name,
weird
man.
name.
So when we get paid,
Does your name mean hobo? I'm just that's what I heard. How do you all react to this, if at all? You certainly don't have to.
You're like, what the fuck are they doing now? I guess we'd still be sitting at the table.
Yeah, how far away are they?
I don't think we're
10
feet.
length doesn't matter.
Sorry, okay.
Can we like hear them from where
Absolutely,
we're at?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'd yell over, Etrigan. Yurigan?
Yurikan. Yeah.
Yurikan. Etrigan. Yurikan. Orpha. I help you on my way home.
I don't know about them. You see how they treated that half-orc? What was that
You
about?
whisper about me?
Oh.
Okay. Yurikan, you say?
Yeah.
Take out a notebook.
Nice. That is as good a time as any to explain our inspiration system. So, we use a nice house rule here at Castle Mac. We give out these orange beads to the players.
I'm sorry, did you say bees?
I'm afraid it's beads.
Beans? Beans?
Hey, you want beans. And I give these out to each player, and the players can then give one of those out to one of their fellow players in exchange for an inspiration. This is meant for some cool role-playing, an awesome action, or just when people are down on their luck. That being said, I'm going to give Orpha's incredible
Thank
accent
you.
right off the bat
Mhm.
a inspiration, because that was good.
Etrigan will speak up. I'm afraid it's a misunderstanding. To the outside observer, you seemed quite cruel to that half-orc. However, after speaking to Veda, there was some play involved here. Bit of rogues, I would think.
That's what I would think.
Orpha, you look more than capable.
Oh, so being like a wealthy elf,
Yeah.
I would definitely know that this is a
Wealthy?
wealthy elfie. I would know that this was a piece of shit violin.
I don't know. Why don't you roll an insight check? I mean, do you think you'd know about musical instruments? Do you have any proficiencies in any musical instruments?
I don't have any proficiencies, but coming from like a high elf community where like
I'll give you an insight check on it. Nobody else could even make that check, but I'll give you
it
the...
doesn't
at
really
least-
matter because it's like kind of retroactively being like, well, this was a piece of shit,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what do I care?
You don't know, but if someone were to be like, actually, that is a really nice one, you'd be like, oh, okay. Like, you don't know.
I assumed it was a piece of shit because
Right.
it was coming from like this broke ass little halfling.
Had somebody
Smart
of
ass.
authority said
Right.
it was worth it,
Yeah.
you would have believed it.
You beat my
What are
violin
you-
scam puzzle.
That's the best.
What are your guys' like just a quick breakdown of like your personality traits and stuff, just so I know like what to look for? I always like knowing what people have chosen.
Yeah.
I did not write them down on here, but I will give them to you.
I can start. I have mine pulled up.
Okay.
You're like,
Go-
what is
go
everyone's?
for
But
it.
here's mine.
But here's mine. So my personality trait is I'm willing to listen to every side of an argument before I make my own judgment. My flaw is that I'm easily distracted by the promise of information, but also I speak without really thinking through my words, invariably insulting others. I think that's just because I'm a high elf.
Nice. Yeah, you're right. It's not well, but great.
Yeah.
Talking about speaking Elvish. Cool.
My ideals are kind of stupid. I just chose whatever.
Okay.
But I think that those are the two that I think would be the most defining.
I like it. Who's next?
I'm gonna keep mine secret so I can point
Okay.
them out.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So I'm like of noble birth, but my personality trait is that I don't see myself as above anybody or anything.
Oh, cute.
But I'm also, since I'm like pretty young and I've just left my family for the first time, I'm trying to prove myself to like everybody. So it's kind of both a flaw and a personality trait there. So.
Cool.
Fuck yeah. I think I'll keep most of mine secret, but I do think that personality trait right off the bat is I judge people by their actions, not by their words, which I think you would see in my typical, like, continually sizing up.
All right, I forget exactly where we left off. You wrote.
He was
you
saying
wrote the name
something.
down. Yeah.
I had tried to cool the air on informing him that it was a scam and saying that
I'll
the way it
apologize
looked.
to Orpha for the misunderstanding. Just, clear the air.
What was that you said?
Terribly sorry for the misunderstanding. I didn't know the situation. That's on me. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Well, Orpha, you seem to have quite a bit of prowess swinging around that axe.
Yes.
Will you be joining us as well?
I like you all. Yes.
As you say that, the door swings open and Cuddy returns, wearing different pants, and he's kind of sheepish, and he's like, "All right, come on, love, give me that violin. No. There you go." Drops 24 gold pieces on the table.
I want to take my time and count it.
You do. He doesn't look anyone in the face. He's just like, "Oh, are you done yet?"
This seems to be all in order.
He's like, "Yep, all right. Here we go. There we go, love. Better." She's just like,
I'll toss his pants in the fire.
I mean, he stops and he's like, "Yep."
Mark for bad.
Just leaves. Veta is like, when you do that. And he leaves with his tail between his legs.
I'll cheers to that.
I didn't catch your name.
Oh, yes. Forgive me. I am Marion.
Marion. Well, I know he's an archer. It's not hard to guess what she does. What is it that you do in the adventuring life? Swing a sword, a bow, magics of some variety?
I'll pull out my spell book that just looks like a fucking wreck, and I'll just make like a silly minor illusion in my hand.
Right. Understood. Just trying to gauge where everybody's at.
And I'm also wearing that like cloak that looks like a sky.
Yeah.
You guys are probably like...
I think he assumed that it might be that.
I'm probably gonna like look at your spell book a little, only because. Side note, I think Orpha's pretty traditional in that she like is like fuck spellcasting,
Cool.
like
Totally.
F it. However, until the last year though, when someone helped change her mind, who is also a barbarian, where spellcasters were very common, like commonly housed amongst them, and so she's kind of like has a new like approach on it.
Cool.
It's come to understand it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a deep-seated prejudice
Where
that
I'm
has
like,
been
no.
chipped away.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. I like it.
So this would be the first time she'd even like think about being friends with
A spellcaster.
a spelly boy.
A spelly boy. My spell book is I've just like taped things or like pasted things that I found along the way to it.
I love it. Just like
So it's just
odds and ends and bookmarks hanging out all over
yeah,
it.
like I'll read something and I'll be like, oh yes, and then I'll cut it out and paste it. Like it's not a spell or anything. It's just
I like it.
I'm a collector, like Teen Vogue.
While I'm looking at them, I want to look really hard. I don't know what roll I would need to make to see if I recognize any of them.
We don't need to roll it. I mean, you don't. You look and you just like scrutinize faces and maybe vague familiarity. You know, maybe it's in, you know, the high elf's chiseled nose. You know, or Orpha's long brown hair. Blonde. Yeah. You know, there are elements that you're like, but you can't place it. Your attempt to sort of place them is interrupted as a young man, maybe 22, human, seems to be from Kalamshan or that area, kind of comes in the door and he's holding a scroll and he's got a pen and he looks at it and he's like, Etrigan.
Right, that would be me.
It's like, yes, Byshot himself, say He's ready to speak to you.
Okay.
No?
It seems I've formed a bit of a crew. May I bring them along?
He's like, I cannot see why not.
Thank you.
He's like, well, right this way.
Will you all join me?
I'm in.
We'll follow.
I mean, he's just... In fact, you guys step outside and he's like, nice weather we're having. Like, just clearly making small talk.
I'll look up at the sky.
And he's looking at, like, his notes and he's like, oh, right this way. Takes you inside. You guys kind of go through the Order of Rorik's kind of building. It's relatively empty right now. It's pretty sparse. It's kind of midday, maybe like 2 p.m. So people are kind of done with lunch, but it just seems like a lot of people are either out or whatever. It's just not booming. You guys have seen it when it's crazy crowded. And you're kind of brought back into an office. You see a couple of desks all stacked with papers. And you come back and you meet with a man who you recognize. The rest of you have never seen before. You recognize only because you've spoken with him. Not anything else. And he comes in and he's like, yes. Etrigan, is it?
Yes, Master Basha.
He's like, very well. Who have you brought with you?
Seems I may have formed a bit of an adventuring party while at the inn. I could have Uriken, Orpha, and Marion.
It's like, have you? Very good. Throws a paper down. Give me those names again.
What was the paper he was holding?
Just a piece of paper on his desk.
Cool. I want to mage hand it.
You do, and he's like, please don't.
Okay. I wanted to take it to my book.
In fact, he kind of looks a little suspicious at you. He's like,
I like to collect writings.
confidential.
Understood.
Kind of eyes you up for a second longer.
I smile.
You repeat the names, and he draws up what seems to be a new contract. And he says, very good. We've got some work for you, not in the valley. But another group went missing 2 weeks ago. They were in Oakhurst, a small town to the north. Just a 2 days ride up the Tribord Trail. Go investigate. Folds it up, ties it off with some twine.
Oh, take it and put it in my pen. Anything else we should know? What they were investigating? Or?
They were investigating an old ruin there. 2 of them were from there. 'Twas pro bono. Brother and sister, I believe. Their mother is paying this contract. 500 gold pieces upon the return of their bodies or signet rings. They'll tell you more when you arrive. Another thing, caravan leaves tomorrow, heading up the trail. Bonus 200 gold. Escort them. At least that far.
I see no reason why we wouldn't.
Very well then. Just goes back to his writing. Pulls another piece of paper out.
Thank you again, Master Basha.
Good luck.
I do not believe in luck. However, thank you.
He just nods at you. Doesn't say anything else. You come out and that young man is there and he's like, here are the papers. The caravan will organize at dawn, just north of the village.
Thank you.
Safe travels. Oh, and before I forget, see the quartermaster. He give you healing potions.
Where would we find the
He
quartermaster?
says, "Oh, of course, just that way." Points across the street. You see a nice wooden building, and you can see the parts of it are being replaced with stone. So it's like they're almost replacing one section of it at a time to make it a little bit more sturdy.
Quick question.
Yep.
How much was the amount of money I had to just form a team together? Did you tell me that?
Yeah, we don't necessarily need to know the exact amount if you don't want to, but let's call it 1,500 gold. That's a pretty sizable fortune.
Got it. I think he's still...
It's almost like a, I don't know, like a trust fund you received or something. Fairly, no strings attached, but we'll talk more about it.
Gotcha. Well, just as we're heading over there, just wanted to check the amount of money I had first. Well, as I put this together, I'll front any cost on this end that will not need to be repaid. And from here on out, we will split the fortunes 4 ways equally.
Okay.
Yes,
Brilliant.
that sounds fine.
Walking to the quartermaster.
Okay? Yeah, you come in and there's just, I don't know, some kind of middle-aged man. He's like, yep, what can I do for you? Pulling out a box and going over it, and he's like, no, we're supposed to have 3 of those. Nope, I know what the paper says was only 2. And you hear a voice from back there like, yeah, I told you, I'm going to look into it. It's like, all right, well, when? It's like, sorry, what can I do for you? Puts that aside.
We were told you were the one to see about getting a few healing potions.
He's like, oh, yep, requisition. Right. Okay, looks in order. Not heading to the valley, huh? Pulls out another box.
Nope.
Wooden box.
Farther
No?
north.
Okay. Opens it up. Pulls out these 4 vials. Sets them down. He's like, alright, there you go. Sets that under the counter. Fills out something else on a piece of paper. Goes back. It's like, so, anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Alright. Safe travels. Just gets back to it. Looks way too busy to be entertained.
Is that 100 or 200 gold?
What?
For the healing potions.
You didn't have to pay for them.
Oh.
They were requisitioned. You each get 1 healing potion.
Okay.
Which, by the way, Castle Mac house rule, potions can be imbibed on a bonus action, but they can only be administered on a full action. But we also limit access to them. They're not bountiful.
At
in our
most, you
world.
get 2.
Yep.
None of us have healing spells, do we?
Oh my god, you don't have a cleric, do you? Or anyone with healing spells. Tight. This should be good. I can't wait. Okay, what?
I knew I should have just stuck with the
What are
cleric.
you doing with your life, Lydia?
I'm sorry, this is on me.
Oh, I would say, I don't think I added that into my description. Though I look human, I do have, like, shimmering, almost silver scales on my skin, and my eyes are golden.
Tight.
So, no, I don't know that anybody would see anybody who looks like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have. Not.
You all step right outside of the quartermaster's office. You can see a hedge maze being built with like a tower that's been mostly constructed. I think there's still some scaffolding in some spots of it, but the tower looks like it's made of twisting vines and roots, and you do see some stone kind of poking out here and there. You know that, of course, to be Mythos's tower. Besides that, it's a kind of regular village. There's a little bit of everything. You could go buy any equipment from the from the player's handbook or whatever. But you all are standing in this main thoroughfare. It's 2 o'clock. You've got a job. Doesn't leave till tomorrow. What do you all do?
Well, this is our last day before officially adventuring. I'll pay your tabs at the tavern. I certainly don't stand to judge. You can drink as much as you like as long as we're up at dawn. I'll pay for your lodging.
That is very generous of you. I could afford it myself, though, if you would like to save your money.
Part of the agreement for signing up for my adventuring party was that I would do this.
All right.
I will take you up on it.
We'll gladly accept your generosity.
Not generous. This is a transaction, my friends.
Better than sleeping in the trash outside the back of the horny toad.
Is that where you've been sleeping?
No.
I'll head to the inn then.
All right. As you guys are walking, you hear kind of in the distance, and you look, and you can see a stable boy come out of the stable, like looking up into the air. Kind of runs back inside, and you see a hippogriff carrying 2 figures come smash into the ground, walk into the stable.
Beauty of having multiple games set in the same world.
The biggest eye roll I can possibly.
No,
muster.
come on.
Okay, I'm so into it.
Nah, you're not.
You cheated.
What do the 2 figures look like?
No, you don't see them.
Is one of them
You don't
like...
see-
I'm just
They
joking.
disappear. No,
I'm
forget it.
just
You guys
joking.
walked into the inn before you could see them.
I thought I saw a girl on fire outside just now.
All right, you guys do anything else?
I think drink, eat, be merry, and
Yeah.
sleep. Otherwise,
Cool. All right, why don't we take a quick break?
Yep.
We'll come right back in about 10 minutes, and we'll pick up with the Sunless Citadel. See you in just a
Steven's
few.
gonna kill me in a few
Raven's
minutes.
dead. right, we're back. Thanks for joining us. All right, so you all leave in the morning. It's summer. Nice weather out, really. It's not too hot. Get a nice breeze. The days are filled with sunshine. Low humidity. It's really pretty pleasant. You travel with a caravan. They seem like good enough folk. They mostly keep to themselves. They sort of, you guys get into it around the campfire, chat about things, share some funny stories, some experiences. You all get them to where they're going, and it's just one little, experience that you all have shared together under your belt. Tell me one awesome thing that happened on the caravan. What do you think? Tell me a story. 3 days with a group of people.
We're on Tribor.
On the Tribor Trail. It's easy. You have absolutely no combat encounters. Nothing even really suspicious happens.
Man, I think at least one thing that would have happened in the middle of this weather, there's a completely strange storm that came out of absolutely nowhere. Like a rain and sleet storm, and the cold winds made little sense.
Yes. Lasted for all of a half hour, but was super intense.
Just the skies opened up before us, and it came in and felt like we were in another season.
About the only time your adrenaline got pumping. You had to deal with the animals. Got a little wild there for a time, and then was gone as quick as it came. Anything else? Anything that you all discussed with each other as you get to know each other a little bit? Would you have learned anything more about each other?
I think everyone would have learned that I can play the instrument known as a horn.
A horn.
Yep.
All right.
I couldn't remember if I chose the horn or drums. Yeah, I have a horn that I carry on me that I just like.
Nice. Is it valved or just like
a
cornet?
horn?
Nice.
I would have told them all about Osmond, my halfling mage that I studied with, and how his death had affected me.
You say Osmond?
Osmond.
Okay.
I guess, to that. I mean, that sounds incredibly tragic, and I'm sorry.
Thank you. It was an incredible loss for me. And then I won't have told you guys anything, but whenever I talk about someone dying, I'll probably just finger my earring.
Like a little subconscious tick.
Yeah.
You just have one earring you wear.
Yeah, that one teardrop earring. It's
yeah.
I'm also gonna say that that's my arcane focus.
Cool. I like that. Do you tell people about it or just okay? How about you, Uriken? Did they learn anything about you on these couple of days?
I would have talked a lot about my home village, but not any specifics about why I left. Just that I did. I feel like it probably would be obvious that I'm trying to prove myself, because I would have been annoyed that we're just doing guard duty when I'm not looking for something more, something exciting.
Yeah, you're bucking
and
against it.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's money, but it's not what I came here to do.
Constantly on watch too, maybe a little overbearing for people.
Smell that?
I got really excited when that 30-minute storm happened. I was like,
Yes.
Something's going down. Here we go.
Cool. Awesome. All right. You all arrive in the town of Oakhurst around dusk. It's just starting to get dark. See the lights going on. The place is pretty sparsely populated from the looks of it, like most of the towns on the Sword Coast right now. But you do see a nice, well-lit tavern called the Old Boar Inn. And you know that there would likely be rooms available there. I think that's also where you were expected to kind of meet up. Technically, the person you're looking for is Lady Arya Hucrail, who is the mother of 2 of the missing adventurers, who would be the one hiring you. And I think they would have just said, you can go to the inn and they'll point you in her direction. And just to establish a precedent, that's something I plan to do a lot of with this campaign, is let you guys come up with some things that happen as we go. Because I've got 4 other D&D games to prep for, 3 other to DM for. So I think that's a cool thing. So you can think about stuff, between. We'll explore character backstories as we go. So here you are. Go in the inn, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
And you come in and you see a handful of people. You see some farmers. They look like they're overworked. Like they just look burnt out. Like these are men who are just, head and hands covered in dirt and sweat and just beat. Like barely even able to drink. Just look like they've been working so hard to work the fields. And you come in and you see the bartender. He's got mutton chops, or he's got the what's the stash that connects? Stash. Yeah, the mutton stash. It's shaved through here, big and burly, like all of 300 pounds, but most of it muscle. Like just looks like he could smash the bar with his fists. You come in. He puts a fist kind of on the table, not menacingly, just sort of like he's leaning against it. You hear the bar kind of like, protest against him putting his weight on it. And he's like, what can I do for you?
We're here to meet someone.
Sure, of course. Lady Hucrail will let her know you're here. Garvin, you go fetch her. He's like, yeah, of course. Stands up, finishes his beer, leaves. So you're all from Golden Leaf, then?
We're coming from Golden Leaf. I don't know that we're all from there, but yes.
That's what I meant, yeah. All right. So what's she like? Sorry. I dropped my massive die.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know if you had
planned
planned that.
that.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that wasn't
oh,
it.
damn, it's
Oh
gonna
my
pop
God.
off.
That was not planned.
We've got next level sound
Always
effects.
something at
Whoa.
once every game. Some weird thing happens that scare us.
That was not planned.
I assume you mean Lady Nithbis.
He's like, oh, sure. Who else would I mean?
I didn't.
Doesn't matter.
Does she collect fingers? That's what I heard.
I read that.
I've also heard that.
Strange to think she'd collect fingers.
It's not that strange.
Can I get y'all something to drink, then?
Please.
Yes?
Ew.
Ale? Something special, maybe?
Yes. I would love that.
Oh, this one's on the house. Shall we? Alright, I know Lid's wanting to do
Oh
it.
my god.
Roll it, Lydia.
I love the drink table.
Go into the drink table.
is wonderful.
The drink.
Did we do the drink table when you played with us?
I don't think so.
I got a 78.
78.
We all have to roll, or no? That's just rolling to see what
This
we
is
all.
just to
all
see
get.
what they have. Now, let me take a look and see if I'm down with this one.
What's the noise?
Thunder.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's been storming for like 2 hours, yeah.
Go ahead and roll again.
Okay.
This one's grim. And
No.
not fun.
What is that noise?
It's thunder. 44.
I don't know what that is.
It's 100% thunder.
Sounds like artillery. What you got, a
44.
44?
Could be artillery.
I think it's
It's
likely
probably
artillery.
not artillery.
It's
probably
Isabel
thunder.
riding her bunk bed
Oh
down
my
the
God.
stairs.
I'm surfing.
Alright, one more roll. Sorry.
Okay. All
We'll
right.
roll till we get something good.
Last time. It
Last
better be
It's not
very
really
good.
random if we just roll through.
Well, that one would have no effect.
15.
Period.
It's my final roll.
Okay, alright. He says, oh, we got something in from Mirabar just the other day. Dwagon stout. Pretty good. For dwarves, anyways. Pours each of you a glass. No fighting in here.
Okay.
Why would you say that?
Well, we hadn't planned to.
Alright. It's actually quite tasty. Very thick, almost meaty. Almost like you're eating a steak as you drink it. It's like you chew a little bit.
Gross.
Basically a really dark stout. And as you drink it, all that really happens is you feel riled up. Not angry. You're just like, alright. Like you just feel like you want to get out there and do something, man. You just want to Just go make something of yourself right now.
Man, I think feeling that and spurring his own thoughts, we're on the precipice here. On the precipice to finding our destinies. What we're supposed to do. The good. The great. Perhaps the terrible. I don't know.
I'll do one of these for that.
All right. How do you both react?
I would just be into it, be like, I knew I was right in coming here. I knew it. I knew I would find answers. I don't even know the questions.
Even I know the questions, but not the answers.
I know
Perhaps
all
I
the
don't know
questions, and I know no answers, but I don't even know the questions.
I'm gonna chug the last of it, walk outside, and just start hacking into the ground.
You all see her silently too, just walk out, and she throws her axe over her shoulder, goes outside, and you're like, through the swinging door, you see her raising her axe up, dirt, clumps of mud flying everywhere.
I think no matter what, if you're a wizard and you study to be a wizard, you're just always a little crazy, so.
Probably so. What about Yurikin?
So are you two both
I
silently in thought?
I think we're both
I
kind of
wish we
just
could,
I think we're having the
bantering
same
back.
conversation, but we're not speaking to each other. It's
Okay.
just furthering our own rants of absolutely the questions, as I was saying, the questions.
You hear one word, but you're not conversing.
We're talking at each other.
Yeah.
I think it's especially pronounced for you, because you were already itching for something.
I'm listening to that as I get farther into the drink, and then 3 quarters later I'm like, is this adventuring? Is this what we're doing? We're sitting at a bar, we were being guards for 3 days? What is this? Come on, let's do something. We're just sitting around. She's outside beating the ground. What are we doing?
I can't fully disagree with you, Yurikin. There's something greater we're supposed to be doing that, I know.
There's a whole universe.
There's just these huge axe marks in the mud, and and then you look and see a spot. You look for the next spot that's
I think
offended
it's
you.
funny because we've just fit every kind of subclass of drunk college frat dude.
Careful, you're gonna offend Spencer.
Sorry, Spencer.
Who's Spencer?
Is this what life's like? I'm gonna go punch holes in the walls. This is the first time I've been drinking. Have you guys ever thought about this, though?
We're a freshman dorm.
Alright, as you say that, Yurikin, one of the farmers kind of looks up at you and he's like, yeah, that sounds familiar. I suppose you're here to look for the missing party. That's right, we are. Yeah, went missing 2 weeks ago.
They could be anywhere, or they could be nowhere.
It's he looks at his friend and they kind of they share a little bit of a grin. And he's just kind of could be. But I think I know where they are. What?
Where could they be?
Oh my god.
This one's yeah, they're up your butt and around the corner. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Todd Fairbanks.
No one can ever admit that they know where something is without me eventually
I
being
know. Even at work, right? Someone's hey, where's that final deliverable? Let me check my email. But y'all know what I'm thinking.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be where could they be?
Certainly not there.
Well, it was an ashen plain. Just about 15 miles southwest of here. Calamitous battle some time ago. A dragon, which at one point that was a story to tell, but nowadays, everywhere's been ravaged, hasn't it?
Would that be familiar at all to me? I'm saying a random memory check, perhaps.
At this point, no.
Got it.
At this point, doesn't sound... It's too non-specific, He says, well, even Boz here can tell you we don't let the cattle graze too far that way.
So imagine I'm still like riled up. So I'm like, let's go right now. He told us where it is. Let's go do it. Like, what are we waiting for?
I appreciate your haste, and we will get there and we will be victorious. However, we do have somebody to meet.
Right.
You'd be talking about Lady Hookrail, wouldn't you?
Of course. Who else?
Yeah. Is distraught, understandably so.
She's their mother, is that correct?
2 of them, yeah. 2 more hired from Golden Leaf. They were excited about adventuring, not unlike yourselves at this moment. And as he says that, the door slams open, and Orpha comes in with her axe over her shoulder, covered in dirt, like heaving like you've really accomplished something. Huge grin on your face, axe covered in mud flecks on your face. He kind of just looks up at her, and they kind of share a smile again. And the other one's like, but that's not all, though. 2 folks gone missing just last week. Found their bodies, we did. All poked full of needle holes, looked like.
What size needle? He's
It's
like,
like-
what size needle?
Well, maybe yay size. Like a quill.
A quill. It's very interesting.
So, just a
Poked full of them, they was. Cattle gone missing, too. Yep. It's like, yeah, the cattle's gone missing, too.
So 4 adventurers went missing. 2 more went missing last week, and a number of cattle.
And their bodies were found.
The 2 that was missing, we found their bodies.
But not the 2 before.
The 4 before.
The 4.
It was 4 adventurers. That's what you mean, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, it was a brother and sister and 2 others.
Well, sounds as if we've come at the right time. Perhaps there's more than one fell deed that we can correct while we're here.
It's like, sure. Don't know what it is. Fell things, suppose.
Definitely.
And then the other one is sort of like, and there's also the apple. And he's like, Boz like puts his hand out.
The
Shakes his
apple.
head at him. He's like, I forget it.
I can't. You've said it.
It's like, it's no biggie. No
It
big
is.
deal. He's like,
You've said it and I won't let it go.
I mean, make a persuasion check.
I mean, I'm amped, right?
You're amped, yeah. No, you're playing it fine.
It's an persuasion.
Yeah.
Charisma.
So that's a 8, 9, 10, 11.
I mean, he kind of regards you, and he kind of looks at Boz, and he's like, and the other one's just like, he's like, strange, really. Pack of goblins showed up about 12 years ago, really. And they offered an apple for sale, a single apple, most beautiful apple you'd ever seen. Wanted 50 gold for it. 50 gold for an apple. Well, one of us, looks at Boz, was intrigued. Paid for it. Why not? Could have been a scam, but hey, there were 14 goblins there. Maybe you don't pay the 50 gold and they take it some other way, if you catch my meaning. Well, funny thing. Boz's little girl, and he's like just nodding along. She was real sick. He took a bite of the apple, tasted delicious. Gave it to his little darling. She ate the whole thing. Delicious apple, she said. Not 2 days later, she's as spry as ever, walking around completely healed.
And you think it was the apple?
If it were 12 years ago, I'd tell you I thought it was the apple. But now 11 years on, I know it is. They've come back every year since then. Every single year. And we've bought that same apple, and every year it cures all sorts of ailments. Whoever scrapes their money together takes a bite of it. Nadim cured his limp. He's like, I bet it did. Didn't think nothing could cure that limp.
Mm-hmm.
Magical apple.
Sold by goblins, of all things.
Do you think these are related?
Couldn't say. And, he kind of looks at Boz, and Boz kind of shrugs, and he's like, well, I must ask that you keep that here. That's sort of our thing. Don't want everyone finding out about this magical apple. Isn't that right? He's like, quite right.
Your secret will be safe with us.
That's good to hear.
Well, what do you say we turn in for the night?
As soon as we meet with Our
Right.
Lady, I think that's a good idea.
Talked about her.
I'm gonna give this though for that riled up,
Feverish investigation.
feverish investigation.
I'm sorry, now I'm feverishly tired. I forgot our rule.
All right. A few moments later, the farmer who was sent to fetch Lady Hucrail comes in the door. A woman behind him, wrapped in furs, like kind of just holding them kind of tight. Just looks tired. She's exhausted. Her hair is kind of frayed. Besides that, she has the bearing of a noble in some ways, right? Like just the way she carries herself, and obviously her clothing. But she does look wrecked right now. She comes in and looks at you all with kind of wide eyes. Are you who they've sent?
We are.
Yes.
Etrigan.
It's like, are you experienced?
I'll wipe the mud off my face. Yes.
Then you must find them. You must. And she kind of rushes forward and kind of puts her hands on the table. It's like, I'll give you whatever. More than I offered, Baishar. I'll make it worth your while. Please, just find them. Find them.
There's no need to offer us any more. We already took the job for what you asked for. We'll do it to the best of our abilities.
Talgan and Sharwin. Those are their names. They must be alive. I can feel it. I know they are.
We heard there were others with them. Do you know their names?
Yes. A knight. No. A paladin. Of... was it Tempest or Tyr? I can't remember. Sir Bradford, his name was. Something like that. And there was another one, a wood elf. Caracas, I believe his name was. Didn't know them well, but Talgan was sure they would... He was sure that they would get to the bottom of what was going on.
Sorry, my lady, but what exactly was going on that they were trying to figure out?
The disappearances. The cattle. No one would go near the Ashen Plain anymore. It was cursed or haunted or worse. I told them not to go. With all the danger that's been going on and all the devastation, just... Why bother? Keep to yourself, Of course, there were those of us who were suspicious about this apple. And the offer of the other apple.
What other apple?
It's like, and she casts a glance at the two, and they're shooting her a look like, and she's like, they offered us an apple in the winter as well, stark white. None of us would eat it. We were nervous. They told us it would kill whoever ate it. Now, who would do such a thing? Why would they offer that to us? The grotesque freaks.
Yet you continue to eat the other apple year after year.
It's like, to great effect. Yes. Maybe they don't even know it's beneficial to them. They get their 50 gold every year.
How much were they selling this white apple for?
Same price. They were forthcoming. They told us it was poison. They told us. Like we would buy it. What would we do with a poison apple in this town? Oakhurst is a farming community.
In reality, there are people who would pay for poison apples.
It is not beneath most people.
It is not.
She's like, I think they found buyers. Because they haven't come back to us. And I doubt they're just throwing it away.
Perhaps we'll solve all these mysteries all at the same time.
She's like, find them. Please find them.
By reading the contract, if for whatever reason they've fallen, you want their rings.
Find them. They're still alive. I know they are.
We will take a quick rest, and we'll make haste.
At this, Garon speaks of the barkeep. He's like, I'll tell you what else I know. Last time anyone was asking about that area, about 12 years ago, not long before the goblins came. A fella named Bartok, I don't remember much about him, but I know he had a big pet frog. Croaked along with him. When he'd talk, the frog would croak. Told him I wasn't super comfortable with a frog being in here, but I didn't have the rules posted. He was right about that, so let it slide. Haven't seen him since. There's something else too. The dragon they were talking about. Dragon by the name of a Chardalon. If it rings a bell. It rings a bell for you. You can't put your finger on why, but you're like, oh my god, a Chardalon. Red dragon. Ancient.
I mean, I don't think he would even cover it, put his hands on the table and inform me. He said a Chardalon.
Yeah. That was some time ago, of course, but...
Is there anything written about a Chardalon?
Nothing you know of.
What is a Chardalon?
I don't fully know. I just know that I know something more. It's ancient.
It's what I'm talking about. The questions and the answers.
That's right. It's an ancient dragon. Red. Feared across the land through all dragons.
She's like, well, it wasn't a dragon. It wasn't a dragon. They're fine. Boss, walk me home, won't you? He's like, yeah. Kind of takes her by the arm, helps her out. Garon, I do have rooms available.
We are weary. I do say we take as short of rest as we possibly can and get going in the event that they are alive.
Indeed.
How many then? 2 rooms?
2 to 4, each one of you tell me. You can stay alone or we can bunk together.
I do not mind anything.
I'd prefer my own room.
Of course you would.
3 rooms then, please.
It's like, alright. Be 5 gold pieces.
Oh, we did get paid 200 from that caravan.
Yeah, you did.
So do we all each get?
Yeah, each get 50.
How much do you think I should have started with?
Probably like 10. Being a barbarian, right?
So I got 200 gold.
Wait, so how much did we get from that? 20?
50.
50.
Oh, I did already have my starting 10 in there.
There you go.
What
Oh, lucky day. Oh, lucky day. All right.
You know, Miss Mystery said that she is a pearl clutcher.
She's a what?
Like, clutching her pearls at night.
Yep. She's a total pearl clutcher. That's absolutely true.
Where did you see that?
More tan.
On the chat. Oh, that got me weak.
It is so hot in here.
Oh my god, now I'm freezing. You
Really?
freak.
I'll change clothes with you.
Not on stream. That's not
Illegal?
Okay. That's not okay. All right. You all set out the next morning. I know we spent a lot of time getting to know characters and stuff rather than jumping right into the dungeon, but I think that's valuable.
I mean, I'm good to
But
do that all
we're
night.
already in a dungeon. Look at us.
This is a courtyard.
But whatever.
It's a fancy courtyard.
It's a fancy
Just
dungeon.
put one chip in my hand.
All right, you all head out at the crack of dawn. You're given some guidance by Garon, the barkeep, and he tells you to follow this old, unused road, and that's going to take you near this ashen plain. You travel for some time. It gets to be about 11 a.m., just kind of before lunch. You guys are traveling, doing some investigating, and the old road passes to the east of a narrow ravine. At the road's closest approach to the cleft, several broken pillars jut from the earth where the ravine lies, like almost maybe dwarven architecture pillars. Clearly out of place here. Two of the pillars stand straight, but most of them lean atop the sloped earth. Others are broken, and several have apparently fallen down into the ravine. A few similar pillars are visible on the opposite side of the ravine, and you also notice a sturdy, knotted rope tied to one of the leaning pillars on the side of the ravine.
A rope is tied to it, and what else is the rope? What's the other end of the rope tied to?
Well, you don't know. That's down the ravine. This is what you
Is
see
the
from
ravine
the
like
road.
water?
Nope.
What's a ravine?
It's a monster.
I thought it was like a lake.
I
or
attack the
something.
ravine.
I don't know. Is it like
roll
a ditch?
initiative. Yeah, it's basically a huge crack in the earth.
So like it looks like somebody's like rappelled down into the ravine.
Yes. It's
Okay.
got a width of 30 feet. Imagine a big sinkhole.
Are we supposed to... We're not supposed to go into the ravine, or are we supposed to get to the other side?
We don't know that.
I would ask Yurkin, be like, that rope, do you think somebody could have rappelled down?
Looks like it's possible. We should go check it out.
We'll follow Yurkin.
Alright.
Alright, you all walk close to the ravine, and you can see that it's about 30 feet wide, maybe 40 feet at its widest, and it goes off into the distance. Kind of in both directions, it's just that it curves away from the road. So this is kind of the first point where the ravine and the road kind of touch, and you can now see it. As you take a look at that rope, you can see that it looks in pretty good shape. It's not frayed. It doesn't look like it's rotted.
It looks pretty new.
It looks relatively new. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. And as you look around, do any of you speak Dwarvish?
No.
Okay. You see graffiti all over some of the pillars, and you kind of look down a little ways, and it kind of goes into darkness. You can see the rope, and it just heads down into the depths. But you can see some of the pillars are sort of lattice work into the ravine, and you can see in red, maybe paint, dwarven runes that don't make any sense to you. Like, it looks like it'd be English letters, but like Cyrillic almost. Like, I recognize those letters, but this doesn't make any sense to me. Make an insight check.
Okay. I don't know that would do it, my... Yeah, I got an 8.
All right. Anyone else speak Dwarvish? Or Goblin? Does anyone speak Goblin? All right. You see that, and you're just like, I mean, it's bizarre Dwarvish.
I would say that out loud. Can any of you make that out? It's Dwarvish, to be sure, but it's nonsense.
Can I do something as a sage?
I'm not sure.
When you attempt to learn a
Well, what do you all think? Should we head down?
See what's down there. I want to light a torch and drop it in, see if we can see the bottom.
Cool. Yeah, you drop the torch, and it does, in fact, fall down, and it lands not as far down as you think, maybe about 80 feet. You can see it hit the ground, and there's rubble everywhere. And you can see that the rope goes down and coils kind of just like it just barely made the distance. And you have the torches lit down there, and you can see.
Wish I would have taken Tetherball.
Well,
Should we go down?
I see no reason not to. This Looks like an adventurer's knot, doesn't it? New rope.
I think it's exciting.
Is the rope on this side of the road? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, you don't have to cross the ravine. It's right in front of you. In fact, as you're looking around, what are you two doing?
Just watching.
Just chilling?
Bored.
Chilling? Then you two roll me investigation.
I'm not bored. I'm excited, but I also have no life skills about ropes and ravines.
Like,
Nah,
19.
man, I got a 4, my dude.
Okay.
I also got this all jalapeno.
The old jalapeno dice. The spicy roll.
That was a pretty spicy roll. You can see the evidence of a campfire. Like, as you're kind of walking around, but it looks like it was trying to be covered up. Like, you can see, like, you sort of spot black, and you're like, what's that? Kind of push your boot around, you can think, oh man, there's like a circle of ash here that they kicked some dirt over. Maybe just in an effort to put it out, but it almost seems deliberately hidden to you. But you do see that there...
This is on the top of the ravine?
Yeah, you're
correct?
still
Okay.
up top.
It's like someone's been here recently. There's a fire pit that's been covered up.
I'll look closer. I would have missed that completely. I'm glad we have your eyes here. Like, I don't know what that means. Somebody didn't.
And somebody could still be down there.
Could be the twins.
Could be.
Should we call out to them?
I think that's a smart first step.
I don't know. I think. I suppose we could call out to them if they've merely fallen to the bottom of a ravine. But if something else happened, we'd be giving ourselves away, wouldn't we?
I suppose.
Well, then let's just go down there.
I say we go down.
I would, like, immediately grab the rope and start going down.
All right, you're taking the tip.
Yep.
We refer to... Never mind. It's not going to explain. Doesn't need to be explained. Person in the lead is the tip, not the point. It's tip, point, shaft.
Alright.
You climb down the rope. No problem. It's knotted. I mean, it was made to climb. There's no rolls or anything involved. And you kind of go down maybe about those first 30, 40 feet, and as you do, behind you, you feel kind of a chill air, and you look back, and you can't see very far. You can only see how far the torch goes. But the sides of the ravine open up, and you can just almost hear that echo of like water dripping in the distance. You know, whatever is down here, it's a huge chasm under the earth.
Right.
And you climb the rope down, get to the bottom. Who's behind Spencer?
I will be behind him.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I don't care where I go.
All right, you're last then. Spencer, you pick up the torch you dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception check.
So 12.
Okay. Well, can I get everyone to roll initiative for me?
Oh. Why?
It's not the twins.
Just
Oh
for
my
no
Freaking
real reason.
frack.
Let me show you what you see, Spencer. It's
Alright.
just you down
I'm
here right
so
now.
Is that a
hungry.
Stop.
You're hungry?
Well, I ate all the sushi and 2 cookies. And I'm like, chips.
I can get you something.
I'm good. I just don't know why I'm so hungry.
I have peanut butter pretzels.
It's okay. Thank you. I can go right 2 cookies.
All right, Spencer, you're right here. The rest of you are descending the rope. Please put yourselves in order.
Next is me.
This is you? No.
That's extra.
She's extra.
She's so extra.
Oh my god.
That's not true. Actually, I don't really even understand what that means.
It means
That's
you're
because you're old.
basic.
It's true.
All right, let's go around and get some initiatives. If you would, please.
I would.
What's the order they all go in? Like, this will be the last?
Yeah, this will be first. So, what'd you get, Orpha?
4.
4. Nice. Fantastic. How about you, Marion?
10.
10. How about you, Etrigan?
17.
And how about you, Urican?
7.
Okay. So here's what
You guys
happens.
before me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm second to
Oh
last.
my gosh.
There you go.
All right. Okay. Well, here's what happens, though. You find yourself surprised. As you hit the bottom, you pick up the torch, and you just sort of, you raise it, and you can see that it's going so far that you can't even see.
Mm-hmm.
You look slightly to your left, and you see some stairs leading down. You also notice another fire pit right here.
Is that one, like, new?
It's not new, necessarily. In fact, it's filled with ash. Looks like it's been used a couple of times. Not recently. I mean, doesn't look like it would.
Anything.
Right.
But you suddenly, like, you kind of look at it and you suddenly hear, like, from all around you. And you move your torch around and you see some gray fur scurrying behind some rocks. And then you hear a squealing. And you look and 3 giant rats, the size of small dogs, come darting out from behind the rubble. And they approach you.
Me mad as hell.
That's so stressful. Like, I need some chips.
I wish I could chew a chip right now.
No.
All right, the
Only
first
had a
rat
chip.
rushes up to you and attacks.
It's real sensitive.
What is your armor class, sir?
14.
Okay, the first one...
Can I say I have mage armor?
No? Would you have cast it before coming down?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Going
then
into
yes.
a dark hole.
All right, that's fair. You are going into a dark hole in the Sorry, that's yours. It comes at you, and you're just like, oh, like you kind of take a step back, press your back up against the rock behind you, just as the other one comes, and you can see those like pink like claws, little sharp nails. It's got these huge 4 teeth and a mange on its fur. It attacks you as well, and that is gonna get you.
Man, level 1, rats ain't ever been so deadly.
5 damage, sir. And finally, the third one comes rushing up. What's your armor class?
14.
Also gets you for 5 more damage.
Oh my gosh.
You all hear him involuntarily just as these rats, they're squealing and they bite you. And as they do, you can feel their hot saliva like running all over your leg, and they tear. They just start rending at you with their big teeth. That was their surprise round. Etrigan, it is your turn. You are 30... What did I say? It dropped about...
60.
It dropped 60 feet. Did I say 60 feet?
Yeah.
So you all are going to be paced at 20 feet each. So you are 40 feet up. And Lydia, your character is just coming over the edge. So you're 40 feet up.
Can we see what's going on?
You can, and you certainly hear it. Like, you hear the squealing and him like... Ah!
Is it light? Is it lit AF down here?
He dropped a torch, yes.
Okay.
Either way, you have dark vision.
I
can
know,
see
that's
just
what I
that
was
far.
wondering.
So climbing is half your movement, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will use my move to go down 15 feet.
Okay.
And then I am going to cast Ray of Frost on one of the rats.
Cool. All right.
I'll go ahead and
Do
choose
it up.
this one since it's out. Ooh, first attack roll with you, Etrigan. I'm going to spend my end spell.
Oh, man, right off the bat. Love it. Right off the rat. That is a hit, sir.
That should be. Sorry. All new here for me.
Yep, it's okay. We're
All
taking
right.
this one easy.
That would be 5 points of damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet if it comes up.
Okay. You hit the rat right to his right. And it's just like it squeals as its back legs kind of buckle behind it. You see ice crystals forming on its fur, and it's like looking back and starts biting at its hinds to try to get them to work again.
I think this is the first time I've done magic too, by the way. 'Cause, I mean, I
In
have
front
the
of
wisp-
everybody, or
Yeah.
Maybe you guys weren't quite sure
I thought
what
you
he
meant
did.
like as Sean O'Hara.
No.
Because he also carries a short sword on his hip, so yeah, it would be a little bit.
Yeah, I've got the whip.
That's right, you got the whip.
Seeing like his like scales and stuff, do you think I could have pieced 2 and 2 together? Being like a studied arcane person.
Why
I probably
not-
just
why-
wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's up to you. If you want to know,
I
have
know.
felt like you know, and especially now, you're like, mm-hmm.
Called it.
And
It's
with
my
that,
turn.
Marion, it is your turn.
So are you gonna give them increased AC if I'm gonna shoot a spell down?
No, because you're actually above everybody, so you can kind of lean out, and you're not shooting through anyone.
Okay, well I'm gonna try to hit that one in the middle with a firebolt.
The one in the middle, or
Yeah.
the one that's already been hurt?
The
One in
that's
the
already okay. The one that's already been hurt. I thought that was the one in the middle.
No,
Okay, which one was it then?
the farthest one.
Okay.
The one to his right.
Firebolt then. So this is a +5 to hit. So that's a 10.
That is not a hit.
Cool. Let me spend my inspo.
I love how level 1 we're facing rats.
I know. What? Fucking shit.
Yurikin dead.
Yeah.
Almost. Yurikin is pretty
I'm
wrecked.
pretty close.
I
Speaking
can't
of
help
which, Yurikin, it is your turn. If you fire your bow at someone adjacent, you suffer disadvantage.
Right.
You
Then
have a
I'm-
torch in one hand, which you can
Okay.
attack with, and then you get one interact, so you could draw a sword.
Okay.
You could fight with a torch and a sword.
I'm gonna
Terrible
pull
style.
my short sword, so the torch is still in my other hand, and then I'm gonna attack the rat that's already injured.
Okay, do it up. That is a hit.
That's it. And then it's
It's a D6 on your
D6.
sword.
So 7.
Yeah.
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 We like to do a thing here where you get to describe the way you kill a creature. So how does this snarling rat, who's now like his hind legs have
That's
given out,
frozen.
how does he die?
I think I would pull the short sword and then just kind of swipe at his face, so it's just a slashing blow right across his head.
Oh yeah, just and he falls over twitching.
Yeah.
Now, would you like to do a bonus action? You could
Uh,
either attack with your torch or
Probably best to use second wind there.
nice.
So remind me how second wind
Yep,
works.
you roll a D10. That's the purple one,
Okay.
and you will add your fighter level, which is 1. Oh, look at that!
Damn.
You're back up to full health.
Sweet.
I mean, you slash across him, and you feel adrenaline. You're like, yes, like
Awesome.
this is what I trained for. He trained the Batmans.
He's a mirror image of the Batman.
This is what you were ready for. Orpha, you are 20 feet up.
Sucked in air.
And he's off the rope.
He is at the bottom off the rope. You get half your movement, so you could go 15 feet down the rope and be 5 feet off the ground. Which realistically, you could go 15 and let go and land.
Okay, I do
'Cause,
that.
Yeah, you're less than 10 feet, so you won't.
But
take
then I have no more movement, right?
Right, you have no more movement, and you can land right here or right there, whichever one you like.
I'll land right here.
Yeah, you just hit the
But,
ground.
so I'm right up on that one.
Yep, you do the superhero land.
And then I'm gonna, if I had the rope in my hand, can I still wield my great axe?
Wait,
Assuming,
It's just a swing. You would need 2
but
hands.
assuming I had it like as I was like going down the
You couldn't
rope.
have had it as you were going down, but you get one
Okay.
interact, so you can pull it off your. You've probably got a little belt that buckles, and so you
Mhm.
just kind of pull it to free it.
And
off
then
your
that's
back.
not my action, that's my
That's
interact.
your interact, correct?
Okay, so then I attack with my great axe. Roll the hit. 14 plus 5.
That is a hit.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not used to that. I just forgot what a d12 is. Eight.
8.
Mm-hmm.
8.
How do you kill this rat? It's the size
Chop
of
it.
a dog. I mean, it's a big rat.
Just slice its body in half.
You hear her just kind of drop beside you, hit the ground, pull out her great axe, and this time she's not hitting mud. She just cleaves it in twain, and I think blood kind of sprays out.
nice.
You hear
So-
the crunching of its spine.
With that, so I reduced it to 0 hit points. So I get to make one more melee weapon attack.
Oh,
as a
you
bonus
got Great
action.
Weapon Fighter, or what's it called? Great Weapon Mastery,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yes.
I can hit that back
Yes,
too.
Great Weapon Mastery is the best.
Oh, yeah.
So now I get to use my thing again.
You sure do.
A 10.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
Eh.
Yeah, I mean, you smash him, like, slide your hand up, move the axe around, come down on the other one, but it just barely kind of ekes out of your way. The ground is kind of rubble, and it kind of dodges behind a rock a little bit.
Fucking dog rat.
And on its turn, it squeals and lunges at you again. It saw you as dinner, and it's tasted your blood. As it leaps at you with these little claws, and it's like trying to grab you and squabbling and
It's
scrabbling.
making this noise.
Yeah. But this time, you stick your knee up and hold the torch out and kind of push it back, and it misses you. Etrigan, your turn, sir.
Alright, so I could go down. So let's see. I was 40 feet up.
You would be 25 feet up right now.
Alright, so I'll go down
15.
I'll
So
go down
next turn,
15,
you'll be down.
And I'll Ray of Frost again. Let's see. That is a 13.
That is a hit.
Okay. For 1 damage. But if it tries to go, man, it's got 10 feet less of movement.
That's right.
So just keep that in mind.
Marion.
Marion will continue her descent down the rope, and I will shoot another fireball. Can I take a shot of fireball?
That is a hit.
Yep. Fireball's a D8.
Firebolt's a D10.
D10?
Firebolt's the jam.
Unless you roll low.
Why would you jinx yourself?
Oh.
Woo!
Yeah.
How do you barbecue this dog rat?
Just like that.
Dog rats.
It's just, you pushed it back, it opens your mouth again, and its fur catches as it kind of writhes around.
Oh man,
You're
runs of
cracking.
unusual size.
Yeah. And dead it is.
Dead.
And the rest of you are able to get down the rope, no problem. Congratulations, you beat my rat puzzle.
Hey,
Whoa.
first combat.
First combat was a success.
Level
So
one.
just take 2 now, or
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you
Level
killed 3 rats. Yeah, 75 experience or something. So you all come to this landing.
I want to listen to see if I hear any
Okay.
noise, like maybe we alerted
Okay.
someone.
Yeah, I'll explain it, and then we'll do that. So it's a sandy ledge that overlooks a subterranean gulf of darkness to the west. The ledge is wide but rough, sand, rocky debris, and bones of small animals now. And that you sort of look around with the torch, you can see just these bones kind of mixed in with the rubble. You see a roughly hewn stairwell that zigs and zags down the side of the ledge that disappears into darkness. So this stairwell has a landing, and then it kind of goes down this way, and then kind of continues just these switchbacks heading down and disappears into the dark.
well, yeah, I guess first. Yurikin, are you all right? You seem to all attack you there.
Doing pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good.
I mean, he's kind of covered in blood, but you can see he's like, I mean, he's hype.
Still hyped from
I'm
that
having
beer last
I'm having
night.
a great time.
He ain't hungover.
Incredible year.
Incredible year.
Hey, Forge Breaker, thanks for joining us tonight, sir.
Oh yeah, what up, Forge?
Alrighty.
Sorry.
Why?
Y'all too.
What is wrong with both
We're gonna
of
break y'all up. We're gonna
Yeah.
have to swap seats.
Then
or
we'll just be
something.
looking at each
That would
other.
be worse.
So I'm listening to see
Yes.
if I...
Make me a perception check. In fact, make it with advantage, because it is
Advantage.
silent in here.
I said that when I
21.
was
Oh, man. Okay. Here's what happens with your 20. With your natural 20. You don't hear anything moving, but you can almost start to use echolocation to get the size of this place. And it's massive cavern. And you can tell there is a water source, like way far off in the distance. You can hear trickling of water, maybe even up to like a mile away, just based on kind of the way the echoes are. You do hear some sounds. You hear like bats squeaking, like once you really kind of focus on it. You maybe hear some squabbling around in what sounds like more ruins far down below.
I hear water somewhere far off, and you said I hear squabbling,
You hear like things moving.
like
Nothing
down
that-
below.
Yeah, nothing necessarily sounds big or even maybe the size of those guys again.
Maybe more of these rat dogs down below.
Well, down is the way we have to go. So we should be prepared.
Orpha is ready.
You two as elves, I imagine, see just fine in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't see in the dark, can I?
The two of you are going to need light sources.
Do you have something that you wouldn't mind being a bit bright? Hold up your axe. the blades of your axe. All right, I'll touch it and whisper in Draconic. Light. And then.
Yes.
Left out
Then,
Just Gandalf style. We can risk a little more light.
Alright, the head of your axe is now giving off 30 feet of light. You all start descending the stairs.
I'll go in the lead.
Okay, you take tip. Who's
Since
behind
I
her?
was listening around with my echolocation.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
Right behind her.
Also,
Ladies first.
Okay. What you want?
I'll take third.
Well, we like the song. Okay.
Do we want to do
I'm
like a
also gonna
shitty
pull
version
my
of Andrew's
bow while we're
sound?
walking.
Draw bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling out whip, just uncurling it for the first time in a while.
Nice. Smell of the leather.
I have
on
a
the
short
whip as you
sword
pull
that
it out.
I've never used in my life.
It's ornamental.
Yes,
It's got like a beautiful handle.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, was I supposed to oil it? Like it's just rusty. All right, as you head down these switchback stairs, a fortress emerges from the darkness. The subterranean citadel, though impressive, seems long forgotten. If the lightless windows, cracked crenellations, and leaning towers are any indication, all is quiet, though a cold breeze blows up from below, bringing with it the scent of dust and a faint trace of rot.
Gross.
Things have been coming here to die for some time.
Fucking smells like it down here.
Let's keep going.
Let's press on. Let's press on.
All right. More of the citadel comes visible as you continue down. And the narrow stairs empty into a small courtyard, which is apparently the top of what was once a crenellated battlement. So if you can imagine this citadel, it's sunk into the earth, and what is now the courtyard at one time was like a ceiling. You got me, Lid?
Mm-hmm.
You with me?
Yes.
Okay. The buried citadel has sunk so far into the earth that the battlement is now level with the surrounding floor. That floor stretches away to the north and south, composed of a layer of treacherous, crumbled masonry, which reaches to an unknown depth. To the west looms the surviving structure of what must be the Sunless Citadel. A tower stands on the west side of the courtyard. That's the only thing that's kind of elevated that you can see. You all enter into this courtyard. We're just gonna kind of pretend here. Okay. And these stairs sort of come out right here.
So that we kind of went down this entire thing.
Yeah.
I got it.
Long switchbacks
Yeah.
and stuff heading down into the dark. And this courtyard is, how wide is it? Okay. And you can see now, like it said, sort of where these battlements once were. Sort of looks like this is was at one time a tower. Pretty well crumbled now. See a door right here.
And so, this is the top of the crenellated tower. So
imagine the keep is right here.
yeah, and so
The keep is here, and the tower kind of rises up back here-ish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is the like, this would have been overlooking maybe a main approach or somewhere else from a keep long ago. And why don't you guys stack up right there? All right. This courtyard, like I said, is completely filled with masonry debris. There's just rocks and pieces of wall that have collapsed. You can see just tons of mortar dust everywhere. Old wood, some of it rotted, some of it in better shape than you might expect, since probably not a lot of water got down here. It's a mess to get to that door. What do you all do?
How's it a mess again? You said water's rotted what?
Masonry debris.
Okay.
Stone, wood,
Okay.
building blocks. It's all collapsed in here.
But you can still like walk through it. It's just difficult.
Just treacherous.
It'd be like walking through the smaller pieces of a demolished building, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So it's not like gonna hurt you per se. You just have to be careful. Do we like have half movement or?
You would have half movement, but we're gonna play it out. So what are you guys doing?
Orpha, you're closest. Can we walk across it?
I'm probably like the heaviest of everyone.
Probably
here.
so. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
pretty
for
built,
sure.
right?
Yeah, I'm like a -1 strength.
Yuvan's the heaviest one here to test it out. Okay.
It looks like it will be hard to cross, but not impossible. You just watch your step.
Yeah, okay.
I'm also a very slender light elf.
Maybe you should go first, Linda.
I will go first. Thank you.
Okay.
How does it go from
Where do you go?
forward?
Okay. You go right
Bye.
here.
Yep.
You go right here.
Yep.
Make an acrobatics check,
Cool.
please.
I will.
Oh my
I
god.
would love to. I'm great at acrobatics. It's a natural 3, so I got a 5.
Okay. You are just like crunching through all of this,
God.
and you're sort of like having to like lean and grab, and you grab a rock and sort of pull yourself forward, and suddenly hear and the rock starts sliding, and you feel all the rubble around you start sliding, and you try to grab your balance, but you cannot.
Oh.
You fall down into a pit, slam into the ground, roll a d6. Okay, you take 6 points of falling damage. You all can now see a
Are you
pit.
down?
No, I've got 2 left.
Okay.
You fall prone. You hit the ground.
Just take a short rest
All
while you're
the
in there.
max die rolls to make, I make that one.
Yep. You guys hear the, and you just sort of see her disappear, right? Just disappear below the rubble. Rubble kind of falls all around you. Some of it near you, some of it pinning you, but not like you could pull yourself out. Nothing's broken or anything like that. You are greeted by a goblin skeleton, kind of leaning right, like looking at you, and a
Is it
goblin.
animated?
No. Just a skeleton that's like kind of hanging here. And you see another goblin that's dead that looks relatively fresh. Like its eyes are missing and parts of its flesh are rotted. And you see some movement that you think was rubble. And a giant rat looks up at you with bits of the goblin flesh in its mouth. Can y'all go ahead and roll some initiative real quick?
Nom.
Just real quick.
No good for me.
Sorry, keep trying to grab your dice. Steal them. All right, round the table. What do we got? We'll start with you, Raven.
13.
Okay. Lydia.
12.
Okay. Sean.
7.
And Spencer.
8.
Raven, that was so gross.
Help it.
Okay. Orpha. You saw her just slide in.
I'd say shit in Elvish.
That was very poor Elvish.
Yeah, okay, says the one who needs the help now. So if I move right here, that's in the rubbly part.
That's in the rubble.
Fucking fuck. Okay, I'm going to try to carefully step here.
Okay.
So I need to roll
I
acrobatics.
do need you to roll acrobatics, yes.
I can do that for you. 15 plus 2?
You kind of, it's sliding, but you're kind of used to rough ground up north, ice and things like that. So your foot kind of slides a little bit, but you catch yourself and you're good.
I'm going to throw down a rope.
Sweet, all right. Yeah.
Do I think that I can... Can I see down?
Oh, it's only 10 feet down.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
yeah, you can totally see her. You see her down there, kind of eyes wide, a skeleton. You see a rat kind of looking up at her. It's covered in dust. Yeah, no problem. You take a rope off kind of your belt and drop the other end down to her. Lydia, your turn.
You set the rope on fire.
Fuck the rope. No, is it gonna be an action to grab the rope, or can that just be like an interaction?
It would be an interactive. Grab it.
Like this.
So my character wouldn't see the initiative tracker.
You can still make, you're good to make good decisions.
Can I make an attack and then?
Of course.
Okay. So I will. It's next to me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Not much space in there.
Yeah, I'll do a shocking grasp.
Mm-hmm. What'd you get?
That's an 8 plus a 5.
That's a hit.
Tight.
Yes.
So that is gonna be 1d8. Cannot take reactions.
Nice play.
Brilliant.
Nice play.
4.
Everyone around the table is like,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You're laying there. Grab the rope. You all hear this electric, just sparking. In fact, you see blue light kind of emanating from out of the pit, and it's sort of. And you smell burnt hair and ozone.
Mm-hmm.
And then with your move, gonna try to climb out.
Yep.
Athletics, please.
Raven.
You're like, and just
damn
slip
it.
back down. Just can't quite make it out.
I suck at rolling dice except for when they damage me.
What's your strength mod?
2.
You ain't got no.
It's a negative
strength.
1.
Yeah. So you rolled a 1 there, just so we're clear. You try to grab it, and you're like, eh. Just your hand.
Oh my
you get some rope burn.
I'm sorry, I thought you said acrobatics.
But what about my jewelry?
Yurikin.
Alright, so I'm gonna try and move towards, this end of the pit.
Okay. This is half speed through here. So
Okay.
you can go 5. Then you can move here. That'll cost you 10 points of movement.
Okay.
And I need an acrobatics check, please.
Alright.
Okay.
17.
You're fine. You're kind of sliding around. You've got 20 points of movement left.
Okay. And so it's, 10 per block?
Yeah. Yep.
Alright, then I'm gonna move all the way to here.
Okay. I need
I'm gonna-
another acrobatics check, please.
Okay. So that's a 11?
Yeah. You slide and kind of catch yourself. In fact, you start feeling yourself sliding into the pit, and you throw your other foot in front of you to catch it on the lip of it.
And then I'm gonna...
Just watch my reaction. I'm just going off out of frame. I'm going over here.
Then I'm gonna try and fire an arrow at this rat.
All right.
So
that is a hit.
And so it's a D8.
D8s or blue one.
Blue one. There we go. So that is 6.
How does this awful beast die?
Arrow right between the eyes. Just falls over.
Yeah, you see it. You're grabbing it. It's still burning a little bit, like there's still little, little bits of electricity coming off it. Still stinks. It's going like it's about to try to bite you, and then, and it just falls down dead. Twitches a couple of times right below you. All right. With that, you all are able to pull her out of the rubble.
Are we? We should make a roll one more time.
No, because you would just do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You would be like, just hold on. And you are able to just,
What was my
Pull her
accent
out.
again?
just hold on. It's no fun, it's no orfa.
Marion, grab my arrow while you're down there. I want that back.
Roll a percentile die. You tracking your arrows?
Sure.
Being
Should
a good
I?
boy? Well,
I don't know.
if you're going to be, yeah, you don't have to. I'm really pretty lenient about that.
Okay.
You can. Technically, you have a 50-50 to recover every arrow.
Oh, okay.
But I really don't care, so yeah,
Alright.
that's good.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to reorient to the map. So I think the best way for me to do this is to have us take another quick break. 5 minutes. We'll be
Yeah.
back at the 5-minute marker,
minutes.
not the full 10 minute.
5
So I can get this
minutes.
5 minutes.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Just drawing out the old dungeon.
Dungeon.
Why?
Now I'm doing it.
Why do you guys have to copy
I type
everything?
in dungeon as my password. That's not my password.
Dungeon isn't your password.
Okay, sure it's not.
Sean, that's not supposed to be a circle. It's collapsing and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not meant to be.
You know how I feel about that?
It's not
I'm gonna
meant to
look
be.
directly in the camera and still frame this later.
It's not meant to be a It's not meant to be a circle. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so you guys get past the rubbled courtyard. Things are just collapsing and dilapidated. This wooden door, the frames have swelled a little bit. You had to kind of push it open in order to push, like, force your way in. And this circular area is cobbled with cracked granite, upon which sprawl the bodies of 4 goblins, apparently slain in combat.
Recently?
Recently-ish. They're not skeletons, nor are they fresh. In fact, they stink pretty bad. Maybe a couple weeks. One corpse stands with its back against the western wall, in which, by the way, I'm now oriented this way, so that's north, south, so this is west. So one of the goblins stands with his back to that wall. And there is a spear kind of stuck through his body and then stuck into the wall behind him, holding his body aloft. You see 2 additional wooden doors beyond the one that you entered. A hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet into the air, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone, except for a couple of crumpled ledges. So this looks like it may have at one point been a tower of the Citadel, but now you can look up and see darkness.
Darkness
Completely
because
collapsed.
that's the sky, or darkness because...
Yeah, darkness because it goes up into the... maybe in the far distance you can see a crack of light, which is
okay. I got
the
it.
ravine that you descended from.
I didn't know if it was nighttime and we were looking outside or not.
What do you all do?
Go through a wooden door.
Go check the doors. We have 2 to choose from here. Suppose the closest. Is that the... This is the west? Or which?
This is west.
West. Okay.
So I'm going to use a mage hand to open the doors just to make sure they're not trapped or anything.
You try, and the 5 pounds of pressure just isn't enough. They're sort of swollen shut. They've got wooden frames that
10
are
pounds.
swollen. Okay. Either way, it's like they're gonna need a shoulder to budge open.
That's
Which
me
one?
pushing through.
Which one are you pushing through?
The one that we were pointing at. That one.
One to the southwest.
Sean. You? Oh, well, roll perception first.
Yeah, that's a 22, my dude.
As you see her moving towards the door, you kind of, are there to be ready and back her up. You can see a half of a character written on the wall behind the goblin that is hanging there. Like a half of a graffiti character. Be like the left side of an A.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess since I'm being ready, I'll be like, wait.
Okay.
And I would make my way over and move the body to try to look
The
at.
body's pinned in place pretty good. You'd have to kind of pull the spear out and...
Okay, I will attempt to pull the spear out.
Alright, not gonna have to roll for it, I think. In fact, you try, Orpha sees, and Orpha comes over and helps you. You pull the spear out, and it just slumps to the ground. Behind it, written in Draconic, a Chardalon. But it's written in paint. It's not like it's etched into the wood or anything like that. It's actually, looks like graffiti.
Is it red?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't look like blood, though. Now that you're close up, it doesn't look like it's been painted in blood.
Somebody's written the name of a Chardalon here. In Draconic. I don't know what it means.
I think we should perhaps go through this door first. It looks the most promising. The others have nothing.
Might as well open them both. See which way we want to go.
Okay.
So it must have been that a Chardalon was written here and the goblin was killed on top of it. Or was he the one writing it?
Don't know why a goblin would be writing the name of a shot.
Is this visible? Oh, this isn't visible on the battle map. I'll fix it.
Okay.
You keep talking.
Dragons hate goblins.
Well,
Maybe he was tampering with it.
Maybe sent to wash the paint off.
Remember, there's 3 other corpses in here besides the one that's pinned to the wall.
yeah. Are there anything on them?
Oh, you search them.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Okay.
As you search them, you discover that they have been gnawed by rats. They bear a couple of different wounds that look like the causes of death. They seem to have all taken some damage from some sort of fire. Just looks like they've got like patches of burns on them. Other ones look like they've had arrows that punctured them. The arrows are missing now.
Okay.
And then other ones still have slash marks as if they were attacked by swords.
Cool. Which door then?
Suppose we
Pick one. I assume they
continue
both.
open them both. Orpha, if you would, please.
Okay.
Alright, which one? South one? We'll start there. Alright, you open the south door. Is this printing, hopefully? Back here, you just see a ton of rubble. Alright. The masonry walls of this 20-foot wide hall, make that 15 feet wide, are in poor repair. The far end has completely collapsed. Looks like it may have led somewhere else, filling the southern section with rubble. The western wall is in much better shape than the other walls, and it holds a stone door in a stone frame with a roaring dragon carved in relief on it. The door has a single keyhole, which is situated right above his mouth, in like where his like the nose on his snout would be, and it's just this dragon. Like,
Is it a red dragon?
it. Yes, you don't have to roll it. It is definitely a red dragon.
I mean, I think Etrigan would kind of run over quickly and, start running his hands over the stone. Is there anything written on there?
There is nothing written, in fact, but it looks like it's a very high quality, and especially compared to what you've seen so far, which looks average, like normal, probably built by humans. There's not a lot of artistic license. This looks different. It looks like it was not maybe part of it originally, because even the frame is different. The frame is a different color stone, and the door is just immaculate. Like, just beautifully carved. Some really nice work there.
This is well maintained. Strange, isn't it?
It's quite strange.
Nice to have a dwarf here right now. They're always so good with identifying stones and time.
Looks like it needs a key, though.
Does look like it needs a key.
We should check the other door for the key.
Agreed. This seems to lead nowhere for now.
That's a good idea.
Alright. You open the other door, and you see a long hall. Three doors coming off this hall, all wooden. It's got a 10-foot high ceiling. It's 10 feet wide, completely pitch black.
Doesn't look as ornate and...
No. This looks more like the masonry you're kind of used to here. Oh, hey, thank you, Chance. Guys, Eric just got us to our divine inspiration. So one time per 500 bits that our friends help us out with, throwing some gold at the adventurers. This is the divine inspiration. This is the gods looking upon you and smiling. Perhaps Behemoth saw that you were inspecting the door that looks like it has a Chardalon carved on it. And you now can use this die to either reroll any one die or force me to reroll any one die. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate that, man.
Also, Chris Knox. I know I saw you give bits earlier, so whoever else.
Thank you. I missed
If
it.
we missed
Appreciate
anyone,
that.
so Chris Knox too, but thank you, Chance.
All right. Where to, fam?
Down the hall?
Down the hall.
You making fun of me?
No, sometimes I just pick up other people's voices.
I have no idea what that's like.
It's strange.
Okay, I'll go down the hall.
All right, you take point.
Point it is.
Take tip, sorry.
Or
Oh, can I take a minute to drink my healing potion?
You can.
Thanks.
You could take a short rest in there if you'd rather. Remember, we also house rule the short rests to like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I have 2 hit points right now. So
Okay,
yes.
why don't you take a short rest and
Why
burn
not?
off that 1 hit die you have?
Hopefully I don't roll minimum. So it's 1d6 plus 2. Ha.
There you go. Back up to health. Anyone else want to do anything on their short rest? You didn't spend any spell slots, right?
I did,
You did?
and I can recover it.
Well, oh yeah, I
Mage
forgot what you
armor.
cast. Ah, mage armor, yes. So you recover that spell slot. So man, you love a short rest.
Don't you still want to keep Mage Armor on? It's good for like 20 hours.
It's good for 8 hours, but just recovering the spell slot doesn't cancel the spell. Correct?
No, you just get the slot back.
Yeah.
you're good. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, arcane recovery is awesome. Alrighty. Where to? Looks like Orpha's taking charge here. Okie dokie.
Oh man, having Raven in the front.
This is weird.
I love it.
So weird.
Okay, as you approach this door, you see a strange... It's almost like it's set into the wood that you kind of missed from the angle you had. It's almost like maybe there was a window, but it's now been replaced with a small stone carving. And it looks like it almost looks like a dragon mixed with a whale. It's like water, and looks like a dragon swimming. But it has fins, and doesn't have wings. But you stare at it for a while. Seems to be made of similar stone. The artistry is not quite the same, but it is definitely out of place here again. It's like a different color stone. But you open the door. And you're dead.
Bye.
Just a small little 10-foot square chamber. It's hewn from the stone. So this one isn't built like the others. It's like carved. It contains an upright keg fashioned of rusted iron. And you see rusted pipes that lead from the keg down into the floor.
What is this?
Go in and check it out.
Yeah. Would I know what it was?
Just looks like a still, maybe?
I mean, I looked all. I've never seen something like this still, but
Make an insight check.
I don't know, like, if elves are big
Who do you
rulers.
think's ever been around a castle or a keep?
Me.
You make an insight check too.
You get an insight check, and you get an
That's a
insight
3.
check.
Okay.
No.
12.
Both of you have absolute. Well, with a 12, you're like, doesn't make any sense. And then you're like, oh, you know what? You kind of look underneath. It's made of metal. You can see a rusted plate that has some char marks on it. Looks like maybe a fire could be lit underneath this, or at one time could have been lit. And then these pipes lead down. I think this is probably hot water. This could have provided hot water to someone. You found the hot water closet, so congratulations, you beat my hot water puzzle.
Next door.
Kind of about all. You do see kind of a rusty lid on top that's kind of set just a little off kilter. Like the lid is sort of like it could have been screwed off and water poured in. It's just kind of sitting half open.
I'll look in it.
Okay. As you slide it back, ding, 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 as it hits the ground and swirls around, you see a little creature that looks up at you. It's this blue, almost little demon-looking thing. It's like, and it rushes out and its wings unfold, and it's this little ice-looking imp demon. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be friends with us.
Nope, not friends.
Oh,
Ah.
got that nat 20.
Me too.
Oh,
But does that beat a nat 20?
So you're in here. Orpha was in there. Were you guys? You checked it out.
Yeah, I think we all
We'll
did.
say you're about like that then. Okay. Let's get some initiatives across the board, starting with you, Raven.
22.
22. Dang. You're going to be up front there. Or no, up front there. Lydia.
10.
Okay. Sean.
23.
Had to outdo it, huh? Spencer.
18.
Okay. And our little friend.
Friend.
Ooh. What were you again, Lydia?
10.
As it sort of flies out of it, you can see this like sprinkling ice behind it, like it's just leaving this sort of trail behind it, and it gives off this cold, and as it exhales, cold air comes out. It's got this long, kind of weird, jagged nose and these little bat wings that are holding it aloft. Sean, what do you do?
Well, question. If I was here with a whip and you have reach, can I attack between them?
Absolutely.
Not that it's better, but I'm just feeling like attacking with the whip.
I like it.
That's an 18, my dude.
That is a definite hit, sir.
4 damage.
Okay. You just whoosh, connect with its wing, and it sort of pulls it back for a second. It's just like... It's trying to speak to you. It's a language you don't recognize. And it sounds, whatever it's saying is nasty. It's like... And looks like it's,
Odd question.
Yep.
Because it's an imp, I know it probably won't be that. I do speak deep speech.
It is not deep speech, but
I didn't think it was.
worth a shot. Worth a shot. Imp is just an explanation of kind of what it looks like. It actually seems to be made entirely of ice.
What language is it speaking?
I can't tell you that.
Is it celestial?
You don't. I guarantee you don't have it. But here's what it looks like.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little ice.
Just
a little
a little
ice demon.
I don't like that
It's
nose.
just got a fit of cold.
What's wrong with his nose? He was born that way.
Okay.
Orpha, it is your turn.
I'm gonna sing my great.
What'd you get? Yeah, that's not a hit. Ooh, you got me a fresh bubbly. Thanks, dear.
Ooh, yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Ooh, that is a definite hit.
For 10. 10.
He whips it, and it's sort of like, and you're just like, nope, and smash it, and it smacks into this cistern, hits the ground, like its arms kind of hold itself up, and it's like,
Shut up.
it looks pretty hurt.
Freaky thing.
Spencer.
I'm gonna pull my short sword and attack it.
Yeah, and I think you can sort of have your bow in one hand, so you can
Yeah.
always interact, like put it up and then fire the bow.
Okay.
That is a hit, my dude.
Alright.
Roll some damage.
Short sword
Red
is
die.
D6.
Yep. The QB. Ooh.
9.
How does this little ice boy die?
Alright. I figure I'm gonna pull my
Ice
short sword and
boy.
kind of like backhand across it, so I'm gonna cut it like right under the wing. So just right in half,
Oh, yeah.
right below the wing.
It's like, and it looks up at you, and you see like crystals start to form on it, and it's just like, and everyone who's adjacent to it, please make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
20.
You failed. You
19.
two passed. Lydia, you take 8 points of damage.
I
You two
know.
each take 4.
That is all of my hit points.
As you slash across it, it's just you hear this like twinkling sound, of like all ice everywhere hitting, and you see what's your name again? I gotta remember names. Marion. You see Marion just like thrown back against the wall and just slumped down, and now she's covered in water and blood.
Yeah.
Because all the ice, like, melts immediately.
And I'm dead.
And she's down.
Now you got one death save before.
That is true. He is dead. Lydia, make a death save.
Okay. It's an 11.
Pass. I assume somebody.
Yeah,
that
with
gets
mine,
her-
I will,
Yep.
and I think gently, kind of pick her up by the shoulders and pour the healing potion in. Is that 1d4 plus 2? 3. You're up.
It's 2d4.
Oh, 2d4
Plus 2.
plus 2.
Minimum?
Yeah.
4 hit points.
I still have my hit points.
You, for a moment, remember the smell of all the books in your father's castle. You remember Osben? Yes. You remember Osben flipping through some of his favorite tomes excitedly. You can smell the tobacco that he would be smoking as he sat there with his pipe, and then you look up and you can see Etrigan just holding your jaw open and as you swallow this healing potion and kind of naturally, instinctively push him away. You look down and you can see spots of blood everywhere where bits of ice shot into your body. What do you all do now?
I want to go back home.
Home. Take me home.
I don't actually like being an adventurer.
So you retire? Cool.
I'm gonna climb out, everyone. See you later.
Yeah, good luck with that rope.
So we press on.
Do you have that other healing potion you could drink now?
No, I believe I will wait.
Who's already drank theirs?
Well, I gave her mine.
And then didn't someone drink
She
theirs?
drank
already?
hers.
No, I didn't.
No, because
I
you
took
took
a
a short.
short-
She
She
took a
took
short
instead,
rest.
right.
Okay, good. I was like,
Your mage armor would have gone away though.
Mage armor would have gone away when you went down.
Oh, mage armor.
No, it's not concentration.
No?
No.
I thought spells end when you go unconscious though.
That's a great question. It might. I know
thought when you start making
concentration
death
drops.
saves, whatever you
The
had.
spell ends if the target dons armor or if you dismiss the spell as an action.
Alright. I guess not.
Does.
I didn't think it did.
Armor
That's cool.
That's good to know.
go away.
Okay, what?
Yeah, nope. The rule says or goes unconscious if it meant otherwise. Because it's
Rock
not
and
a concentration spells all
Yeah,
automatically end. But mage armor is not concentration.
Sick.
If so, I would have been cheating ya with Broderick.
You cheated.
You cheated.
Yeah, cheated.
Yeah, cheated.
Yeah, cheated.
All right.
Thanks.
Where to, Sam?
Maybe the other door.
Maybe we should not look inside of any more hot water tanks.
It's probably a good call.
This is the life we've chosen for now, I'm afraid. I'll try to open this door though, since I'm right out here.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Yep.
Cool.
You open it.
Sean? No. Etrigan? Yes.
This is just a regular old wooden door. Push it open. There's some rubble, dust everywhere. Nothing else in here. Seems unused. It's a bit of a smell. Maybe like urine,
No.
but that's it.
I think he'd still probably investigate a
Okay.
little bit.
Yeah, you go in, poke around a little, kind of push you use your boot to sweep rubble aside. You do find some old rags, but they're completely unidentifiable.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it's just kind of an empty room.
Alright, yeah, I'll just come back. There's nothing in there. Just rubble and old rags.
Okay.
Alright.
So the next one.
Just keep moving.
All right, into the next one. This is a big room.
Is this room gonna take you longer than 1 minute?
Not longer than 1 minute, but you probably got a couple seconds. Why?
I have to pee.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
We'll
allow you to pee.
Pee in
Lydia.
the room that smells.
Lydia, can you make a piss safe?
wait, gotta get out of the dungeon.
Oh yeah, man. Start tracking how much water people drink and when you're in the middle of a dungeon. Like, all right, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you get into the fight,
piss
but
save.
can you withstand the peepees?
The peepees.
Got to stop the pee-pee.
This is the worst. Everyone just was like, "Yeah, I'm going back to the D&D official thing."
Did they leave? Don't leave us, guys.
Don't leave us, everyone.
Don't leave on account of the peepee. That would just be bad.
Leave on
form.
account of us.
Oh my god, this is a big complex room. And I don't think I've ever drawn it right anytime I've run Sunless. So this time, I'm drawing it 100%.
It's like a brand new dungeon.
Perfect. How much of this do you remember, Sean?
From when?
Sean's
Honestly.
done this a long time ago.
When?
A long time ago.
Not with me.
When we were trying to get Andrew. So we
Yeah,
got
this was
Andrew
Andrew's
on it.
first foray into D&D.
I remembered.
Oh, I remember the secret that this is then. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, huh?
I remembered. I mean, I remember the setup
Pepperidge
for
Farms
sure.
remembers.
I remembered
You
here.
see Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah.
I did not remember that little method.
Moffat. Oubliette.
Oubliette.
This goes off into the distance, but we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon. I know it's getting
Going
late
the
for y'all.
distance.
Just oubliettes and oozes.
That's my new game. Can we please have an oubliette in a game?
What's
Yes.
an oubliette?
Oh my god, what was that? I
It's
set it up for you. It was my trap.
It's a.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was my pin puzzle.
It's just another word for dungeon.
You're the worst.
A little game in the game.
I pinched Steven's butt when I walked by. He didn't even react.
That was my game face.
I pinched
Okay.
it really good.
All right. Sorry about everyone having to endure me drawing that mega room. Can you see it on the camera? You can indeed. I'm gonna zoom in just a hair while we're getting into this somewhat important room. That's pretty readable.
Hi.
Okay. You walk into this room. Crudely executed symbols and glyphs, scribed in a bright red dye, which is what, again, at first maybe looked like blood outside, but it's clearly not, decorate this large and irregularly shaped crumbling chamber. A large pit in the center shows evidence of a recent fire, and you can even still smell some of the smoke. And you can see that the ceiling is kind of burned. Goes up a little higher, maybe about 20 feet up, and you can see smoke like stains up there. You see a metallic cage in the southern middle of the southern wall, which contains a gaping hole. You can see it was iron, and that iron is sort of bent outwards, and now stands empty. You see a small wooden bench draped with green cloth next to the cage, and several small objects rest on it. A bedroll lies near the wooden bench, and you can see a lump inside the bedroll, and it's quivering, and you hear...
That's so sweet. Probably someone's dog. They left it here.
I want to use my. Can you put us in that room?
Uh-huh.
I want to use my mage hand and go take the covers off of that person.
Alright, you rip them off, and you hear... And there's a little kobold. And he's like... He's like...
What's his name now?
And he kind of looks at you, and he's just like, "You here to kill me?" And he pushes himself up against the stone kind of bench.
Not necessarily here to kill you. We're looking for someone. A few people.
He's like... And he reaches up onto the bench and grabs a little statue and kind of clutches it and starts petting it a little bit.
I would, I think, walk over to him. I know he's not really a dragon, but since I have proficiency with dealing with dragons. I don't think he'd do it threateningly either. I think he also thinks kobolds are whatever he knows. To me, I feel like he feels something like kobolds live to serve dragons.
As you look around the room, because you speak Draconic, all of the writings that are like everywhere, I mean, they're kind of crazy. They're all like, essentially like, here there be dragons, and things like dragons rule. Like that.
Yeah.
Like it's all like exalting dragons.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, dragons are the best. Like dragons will eat the world.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. It's all over the place.
Nothing like poignant or prophetic.
No,
just like,
no, it's nothing scary.
Yeah.
It's literally all like, dragons are the best.
I would kneel down and I think look deep at him with my golden eyes.
He's shivering and quaking. He's
Like, did you write all this?
He looks around. He's
Are you saying this in common?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he would.
He seems to speak it, at least broken.
Like, you like dragons.
He's like, like, it's the first time.
Yeah.
He's not shaking. He's like, and he's like, kind of covers his face again.
Well, have you know that I've been given an inheritance by a dragon?
And he's like,
and tasked by a
what?
dragon.
Dragon?
Hold on, let me look at my notes.
Like, a silver dragon, Aliantha.
He's like, impressed, but also like, oh, a silver dragon. Like, okay, I mean, cool. Like, oh, you got me a car? Awesome. Oh, it's a Pinto. I mean, that's cool. But, I mean, he seems to be not so scared now. He's starting to kind of recover, but he's still a little... Looks very meek. Very grovelly, even.
What's that statue you have there?
He's like, yes, my statue. It's a dragon. It's just it's very crude. Like, he probably made it. If he didn't, a kobold artist who lacked proficiency made it. But you could tell it's a dragon somewhat. It has wings and a head.
That's all it takes.
That's all it needs. And in fact, the top of it's rubbed smooth, and you can see he's kind of petting it. He's like, Meepo, Star Dragon. Calcrix!
I think getting rather serious, but what kind of dragon?
It's like, what color is Calcrix? I don't remember. Sorry. I forget what color it is now. White. He's like, white. Gleaming. Pure white. Pure white.
Man, I think for silver dragons doing cold, I feel like narratively a pang of disgust at what I'm assuming is somewhat the opposing side of your...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
weapon.
It's your polar opposite, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? In some ways.
I think I might even stand up like...
He cowers and then flies prostrate and pulls on your pants a little bit, and he's like, "You help me, Bo? You help me, Bo, get Calcrix back? You can help me, Bo?" And he kind of starts pulling himself up on you.
Why would we help you?
He's like, and he lets go and again looks fearful. And he's like, "Meepo, help you. Meepo, help you. Meepo, do anything. Meepo, help you." And he starts tugging on both of your pant legs.
Meepo, where can we find the key to that dragon room?
It's like, "Meepo take you to Yustral, Queen. She tell you. Yustral tell you everything. Meepo take you there safe.
Who
Yustral.
and who is she?
She's the queen
The queen of what?
of all of the kobolds here."
So she's a big kobold.
But she wise. Meepo love her, and Meepo can't face.
Meepo, you're so emotional.
Meepo, the only ones who survive in this world fight for their survival. Suck it up.
He's like,
Suck it up!
Meepo, how have you made it this far?
Meepo in charge of the wormling. Meepo feed the wormling, love the wormling.
And what is the wormling, Meepo?
It's Calcrix. She not know.
A baby dragon.
And they put you in charge of that?
Big, important job. Meepo do good.
Until
But
you...
she get big. She break. Like he points a trembling finger at the cage. He steals himself.
Meepo, where is she now?
Meepo doesn't know. You help Meepo find her. Then Meepo not. Meepo help you. Get to use Drow. No kobold. No attacks. Meepo take you there. Meepo come with you. Meepo know how to talk to Calcrix. Meepo help you. Meepo needs to help you. Meepo needs this.
This is my character.
I think he would kneel back down.
When you do, he starts touching your chest and doesn't gets lower than you do.
I think he'll put a hand on his little kobold stink baby shoulder.
He just spit back into his pan.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
He
I
just
saved it.
spit back
I
into
saved
his
it. I
pan.
saved it.
the timing on that.
Stink baby shoulder. What? Okay, let me recover. Okay.
That's nasty.
I didn't spit back into it. Either way, it's all going to the same place. Whatever.
Oh my god.
You put your hand on his
Meepo's
shoulder.
mouth.
Yeah. He puts both of his hands on your hand and kneels lower.
I think not realizing that he's doing it, Etrigan is, it's like his eyes are going wider and he's looking familiarly into Meepo.
Oh man, I mean he seems to notice he kind of steals himself, locks eyes with you for a second, but is beneath you.
Meepo, you're going to help us to get to the queen.
Mm-hmm. Meepo take you.
We'll help you find your dragon, but we're looking for other people. I'm sure you could be a guide.
Meepo take you. Meepo be your guide. Meepo no. Meepo ready to fight goblins. Meepo fight goblins. Mm-hmm. Meepo ready.
Are there many goblins here?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Meepo don't know. They grow so fast. They reproduce fast. Like bugs.
I mean, Marion would laugh at that. So beneath her.
Ooh, Mark!
Bugs! Bugs! Please don't speak like that.
I once saw a bug and a herald to deal with it.
I think, he would continue them, be understand, Meepo, if you do not serve us faithfully, or you betray us, Orpha will take your head, I'm sure of it.
I mean, he looks up at you seriously, looks up at you, Orpha, and just gets prostrate, on the ground, just as flat as he can. Meepo, help. Meepo, trustworthy. Meepo, help.
Alright, Meepo. You've made your case.
He stands up. Let's go!
Don't forget your statues and your things.
It's and his rags. He's got his shirt kind of lifted up, carrying him. And he takes you down this corridor, and I'm not going to draw the dungeon because we're not going to do any more dungeon crawl tonight since it's getting pretty late. But he does take you down that hall, and you kind of go through some corners. We can draw it all out if it ever matters. But as he goes, he calls out in Draconic, and he calls out the word "snap crackle," and you're just like, all right. But that. As he does, you see some kobolds kind of poke their heads out of little nooks and crannies, and they kind of nod at him, looking at you all kind of warily. They kind of like recede back into the darkness. But you see a good 15 or 20 that seem to be armed. But you all pass without issue. And you come into this big, long hall that looks like at some point it was maybe a chapel, maybe a ballroom, but it's just constructed like a chapel. It's kind of curved at one end. And against the west wall, you see a short throne, constructed of fallen bits of masonry that have been haphazardly stacked against an old altar. On the top of the altar stood a variety of small items. The portion of the altar that serves as the throne's back features a carving of a roaring dragon, and a metallic key is held firmly in its jaws. Let's show you a picture. And this is what you see sitting there. A kobold with a big ring on. There are kobolds all around, spears and slings, and they regard you somewhat nervously, but hear Meepo's kind of secret word.
Which is snap crackle.
Yes, yeah. In Draconic. So you're like, you don't know what it means or anything about it. And you come in and she stands up and she's like, who are you? And Meepo is like, they're here to help find Calcrix and kill the goblins. And she's like, is that so?
It is, though we are looking for people as well.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know where they are. They spoke with us. Friendly. They went to fight the goblins. Did not come back. Many don't. The goblins are nasty creatures. They only sow chaos. We are only here to serve. The goblins know this and stole our wormling.
Do you know who we're talking about, though?
The humans? The elf who came some time ago?
The twins?
21 sleeps ago.
They sleep more frequently than we do, so...
We sleep as much as we need to.
Tap the staff.
Alright.
How many humans?
4 humans.
And are they alive now that you know?
No, I don't. Like I said, they went to fight goblins. Nasty goblins wouldn't even talk to them, I imagine. Killed them before even knowing who they were, what they were about.
Do you know anything about goblins?
We've been fighting these goblins for 2 years now.
Do you know anything about goblins with apples?
Yes.
And what do you know?
Used are all happy to help human adventurers, but...
I am not a human.
So, elf.
Excuse me.
No, I mean no disrespect.
I use my mage hand and I slap him.
You slap the queen?
Oh my
Just
god.
kidding. I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
All right.
Man,
I
was like, all right.
She
I
was,
was like,
I am
not
just
kidding
kidding.
until you were like, what?
I'm just kidding. I would never slap the queen with a mage hand.
She says,
Yes, child, tell you what you want to know about the Grove. But you must help us get back Calcrix. She is to be our deity. We live to serve, and we have watched her grow from but an egg to who she is now. She is wonderful. She is beautiful. And Meepo's like, she is beautiful.
Whatever.
The Grove. Where's the grove?
You shall say she help you if you help us. The goblins have Calcrix. Bring her back to us. Or defeat the goblins. Your choice. Or both, preferably.
I have another proposition for you, as I also serve dragons and have been given an inheritance.
She's like, yes?
If we defeat the goblins, return your wormling. Obviously, we came here to find the adventurers we sought, but after that, I'll need to use that key to the door.
She looks up at it, runs a finger along it.
I will return.
Deal! You give it back when you're done inspecting. And you have a deal, human.
Does the sound agreeable?
Makes sense
I
to
do
me.
if he wants the key again.
After we complete this, I'd like to go through that door.
The dragon door.
To a Chardalon, yes?
She just smiles a big toothy smile at you.
So if we defeat the goblins, we will find out about the grove. And we will get, what's the baby dragon's name?
Calcrix.
Calcrix back.
Get Calcrix, defeat the goblins. Sounds like the grove may hold our answers.
And where is this grove?
Are you not paying attention, human? I will tell you where the grove is after you bring back Calcrix. Also, it's up human butt and around the corner.
Well played. Also, I'm not a human.
She doesn't care. She doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Let's go fight some goblins.
We're also going to need Meepo to accompany us because he has now pledged himself to help us. Isn't that correct, Meepo?
He's like,
yes, my queen, yes.
and he comes up to her and kind of tugs at her dress a little bit. And she's like,
Very well, Meepo serve you. And then Meepo come back to me. And he's like, yes, Meepo help.
and he looks around and kind of goes over to a rubble corner and pulls this little short sword and looks kind of rusty. Kind of puts it in his belt. Just this nasty leather, like that's basically all he's wearing, a tiny loincloth.
And he's like, yes, Meepo help. Heroes hungry? He doesn't call you heroes. Humans hungry? Meepo cook for you? Meepo make food?
Meepo, can we make something clear?
Yes.
The ranger and I, we are elves.
Elves.
Like, Meepo, imagine that somebody couldn't tell what color a dragon was.
It's like,
Elves. Okay, humans and elves, let's get something to eat. Meepo cook for you now. Meepo happy to cook for you.
Orpha could eat right now on this.
Yes, Mistress Master Orpha, I cook for you. I cook first. She big and hungry human.
I'm very hungry and big.
Taking a rest might be a good idea. We don't know what we'll be facing.
Yes, I have taken a lot of damage today.
My share of wounds.
you all are invited into this kobold warren, and you rest on filthy bedrolls, filthy canvas, anything you can find. It's definitely not comfortable, but they do treat you well. I mean, they don't... Some of them get a little handsy. Like, hey, we're having that pouch. And you're like, stop. And like, oh, humans! But they do cook for you. It's edible. It's not good. It's definitely fungus. If you're hungry enough, you can eat it. Otherwise, I can assume you have rations. You guys can take a long rest, and we're going to call it right there and pick up next session with these guys in the Kobold Warren looking to find the wormling Calcrix, assisted by Meepo. We do have a divine inspiration, and this divine inspiration will carry over to next session. And Spencer, I put you in charge of remembering that we have a divine inspiration, because I won't. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night for the continuation of The Curse of Strahd. Tuesday night for Princes of the Apocalypse. I got nothing else. That's all.
Hey, thanks everybody. Seriously, I think we got another follower. Y'all came and hung out during the D&D Super Bowl.
You're missing the official D&D thing right now.
Not that you're missing anything.
What are you doing here? We appreciate it. Eric, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Chance.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Let's go raid somebody. Who should we raid? I haven't looked at the other
Thanks,
channels.
Forgebreaker, for the subscription.
Oh, Forgebreaker, thank you. That's so awesome of you.
You're
Appreciate
the
that.
best. I'm gonna go to sleep and dream about you.
Yeah. Okay.
Dream about you hitting that subscription button.
Smashing that sub.
Smashing.
Okay, all right. I found a channel, Mundane. I've never checked them out before, but we're about to give them a raid because looks like they're doing a 24-hour D&D stream, and that is just something I can get behind. So here we go.
In theory, I am too tired though.
Yeah, I know. You were fading. I was getting the fading face. Okay. Guys, we got about 10 seconds. Seriously, thank you, everyone. Thank you to Kimages for our brand new overlay and graphics.
Yes.
They're just absolutely stellar. She is awesome. Kimages TV. Let us know what you think about the backdrops. They're a little bit of an experiment just to kind of hide my cluttered game room, which I felt a little bit of anxiety about, but we think they're pretty cool. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
All right. We are done.
What happened in the chat where it was like, Castle Mike deleted turn